right, Chris, here in Southern California, it's cool but clear for night number 3 of ESPN Bowl coverage as Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week rolls on. The last time Michigan hit the shores of San Diego was the '84 Holiday Bowl. Brigham Young preserved an undefeated season at the Wolverines' expense to become the only national champion from the Western Athletic Conference. Tonight, 10 years later, Michigan faces another WAC champ with sights set on national prominence. Sonny Lubbock's Colorado State Rams were among college football's unbeatens through 8 weeks of the season, with upsets of Arizona and BYU along the way. Now at 10-1, the Rams would love to pick off one more ranked giant. But in the final game of their great Michigan careers, quarterback Todd Collins and running back Ty Wheatley will not go down quietly. 4 tough losses during the season wounded their pride, but the Maize and Blue have one final chance tonight to revive their reputation. Atop Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl, edition number 17. We'll bring you the Wolverines of Michigan, ranked 20th, against the upstarts from Fort Collins, Colorado, the Rams of Colorado State. And the Michigan Wolverines, their 20th straight year of postseason college football, the second best streak in the country. Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson, and welcome to San Diego. Perfect night for football. We get set for Michigan and Colorado State. And Gary, we've seen a lot of Michigan this year, 7-4. They had bumps and bruises along the way, both with injuries and with close defeats. They're healthier than ever, though, I think, ready for this one tonight.
And I think the key guy is healthy, Todd Collins. When he's healthy, this team is as good offensively as any in the country. He had one problem this year, and Michigan suffered for it. He had a hip injury versus Wisconsin. This was the play. This was early in the game. Got hit right on the left hip. He was never 100% the rest of the year, but he is 100% tonight. And when this team is 100%, they are well balanced. First time in Michigan history that they've had a 2,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, and a 1,000-yard receiver. That's the balance and really the challenge that Colorado State will face in this football game tonight.
Well, the Rams know that they are in for a challenge tonight against the Big Ten Michigan Wolverines. But right now at 10-1 and ranked number 12 in the country, Sonny Lubbock has this team believing.
A lot of fun, and the reason he has them believing is he has the credibility to come here. The players believe him. It was at Miami. They won a national championship. What he says, the players believe, and he tells them you have to make plays. The guy tonight that has to make plays, Anthony Hill. He has to make plays outside of the offense, not just the play call. He has to make something happen outside of the play call. Here he is against Wyoming, looking one way, and then the play breaks down. He gets outside of the pocket, makes the big play. If he can do that tonight, I think Michigan will have their hands full as Colorado State comes on the field.
And hoping to prove that they're Ram tough. Colorado State, only their 3rd bowl game ever, the first time in as the WAC champions. Let's head down to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew with more on what has been kind of a tough season for Michigan and hoping to improve that reputation. Adrian Karsten.
Brad, you know, you're absolutely right. For the past couple of years, this bowl has been looked at by the Big Ten team as like, well, we're playing the WAC champion. We should beat them. If we do, no big deal. Well, tonight for Michigan, it's a whole new deal, and it couldn't be any bigger. Specifically, Jason Horn and his defense have been accused of playing poorly in critical games this year. Remember Wisconsin, Penn State, Ohio State. Well, Jason Horn has heard enough. He tells me that this game tonight is most critical and depends how they come out, depends on how they're going to play in 95. So his whole defense is out to make a point tonight, that they can dominate a team that a lot of people believe belongs in the nation's top 10, Brad.
And Colorado State still hoping to prove they belong in that elite group. Are their fans ever ready? First matchup ever between Michigan and Colorado State. Number 20 and number 12 will kick it off from Jack Murphy Stadium when we come back. The Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl, presented by Chrysler, is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Crest Complete, the dentist's choice for rippled brushes. Well, as you might expect, in Southern California, perfect for football. 48 degrees, cool and crisp on a fast track at Jack Murphy Stadium. Gary Moeller, 5th year at Michigan. There's the numbers, 7-4 this season with losses against some powerful teams, and of course the last second set back to Colorado. And Sonny Lubick, what a magical job he's done in just 2 years at Colorado State. He said at the beginning of the year, we want to get to the next level. Last year, having won 5, they wanted to win 7 this year. Well, they shocked everybody and won 10. And now they take on Big Bad Michigan in the Holiday Bowl, and we're underway. Taken on the hop by Diakabatuka. And Tamanga Diakabatuka goes out near the 30-yard line, and that's where Michigan will take over offensively. As we take a look at the Wolverines offense, Tyrone Wheatley, 3 straight years over 1,000 yards with Collins and Shea Foster. Amani Toomer, a great year, over 21 a catch and 5 touchdowns, joins Hayes and Remersma in the receiving corps. They lost John Runyon to an injury, so Zach Adamy has got to step up and play that left guard. Jenkins, Payne, Marinero, and Gines round out the crew up front for the maize and blue. And there's the leader, Todd Collins, and as Gary said, healthy and putting up big numbers again as he did a year ago. First down, Michigan working from its own 30-yard line. And a blitz immediately by Colorado State. And it's Wheatley across the middle. And Wheatley picked up about 5 before he is run out of bounds. Defensively, for the Rams of Colorado State, Sean Moran, first team All-Western Athletic Conference, had the big touchdown on a fumble return against Arizona. Joins Bowman, Hodge, and Smith. Kenya Ragsdale bumped up near the end of the season, but still their leading tackler with over 100. Sand and Ingram round out the linebacking core. And back in a very good secondary, Greg Myers, an All-American, a finalist for the Thorpe Award, joins Strode, Jackson, and Davis in the secondary. Another blitz on second down and 5, and a diving catch out to the 45-yard line, and it's Amani Toomer. There's the numbers on Todd Collins on the year. 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Todd Collins does not have a rocket arm, but he places the ball everywhere with great accuracy and really makes this offense go. Really an intelligent quarterback. Michigan goes with a no huddle. Now they set the troops, await the whistle, and have a first down at the 45-yard line. Remersma, the tight end, comes in motion. The toss, Wheatley with flags down, and Ty Wheatley into Colorado State territory. A pickup of 7 to the 48, but again a flag on the play. Brad, Michigan normally goes a hurry-up huddle. This is a little faster pace than I've seen them use. They're almost in a 2-minute drill at the beginning of this football game. The penalty will go against Michigan, negating the run by Wheatley. Gary Moeller acts as his own offensive coordinator, calling the plays. Bud Alexander is our referee.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And you see the officials from the Southwest Conference. So Remersma goes off, and Michigan will come in with a 3 wide receiver set. They have a 1st and 15 back at the 40. Michigan uses that technique where the tight end, the motion back, goes in motion sideways and kind of shuffles sideways. And they called Jay on Jay Remersma, the tight end, on that play. Something that the Michigan coaches are a little upset about. 3 wide out group from the 40-yard line. Wheatley cuts back across the original line of scrimmage to the 46. We'll give him 6. Brady Smith made the tackle. And Tyrone Wheatley, Gary, a sensational Michigan career again, another 1,000-yard season, but out to really prove his mettle. I think without injuries, no doubt he would have been the all-time career rusher passing Jamie Moore. Oh, he probably would have been, but this is such a balanced offense. He really doesn't the featured back like Rashaan Salam is in the Colorado offense, but he has all the tools, obviously. Second down and 9 in the 46. Collins off play action. Sets up and fires wide open. Mercury Hayes to the 42-yard line. First down, Michigan. 17 yards on the pass play. Really feel one of the keys in this football game is Ray Jackson and Andre Strode, the 2 corners for Colorado State. They need to be able to match up with Hayes and Toomer and allow the safeties for Colorado State to get that extra guy up there in the box to help on that running game. If they give a lot of space off, Todd Collins and Hayes and Toomer will just march it down the field, making first downs with those easy throws to the outside. They have marched the Colorado State 42-yard line. Another Michigan first down. And the give on a quick draw to Wheatley. And Wheatley bounces off what would have been no gain and gets to the 38-yard line. He took nothing and made 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, Steve Hodge did a nice job. Defensive tackle came up, really the leader of this football team, maybe the strongest guy on the football team for Colorado State. And that front four is not asked to make a lot of plays on draw plays, but anything they give to the linebackers is going to be a plus in this game.
Biakabatuka will check in.
There you see the Michigan style, a lot of huddling at the line of scrimmage. Plays called at the line of scrimmage by Todd Collins.
2 tight end set. Wheatley out, Biakabatuka in with a 2nd and 6 at the 38-yard line. Tamunga, Biakabatuka, and he dances his way for a first down, but again a penalty marker on the play at the line of scrimmage.
And that penalty marker came from the judge near the Michigan bench, so I would assume that it's going to be on Colorado State.
Indeed it is, offside on the Rams.
You get in that official's ear right over there and call the play before it happens, basically.
Sonny Lubick, known as a defensive coordinator on 2 national championship teams at Miami before heading to Fort Collins. Actually, his second stint in Fort Collins was an assistant coach there back in the 80s.
Right, when he was the offensive coordinator here for Colorado State.
A very excited guy to be here, and you have never seen a group of fans, and a large group it is, somewhere between 15 and 18,000 tickets sold by Colorado State for this event.
This is the position on the field when Michigan starts to see blitzes, and Colorado State will probably have to try to put some pressure on Todd Collins to get him out of his rhythm. When Todd Collins has rhythm throwing the football, he's as good as there is in college football.
And somebody's tangled up in the chain gang. So we'll get that all squared away. 7th play of the Michigan drive upcoming. And 7 times in 11 regular season games, Michigan put up points on their opening march of a ball game. 4 times touchdowns, 3 times field goals. So they know how to get the deal done on the opening drive of the game. Let's see if they do it here. First down from the 32. Biakabatuka, huge hole. Inside the 20, give him 12 and another first down Michigan.
There you see the feet that Biakabatuka has. He came in the secondary that time. Greg Myers, the free safety, had Biakabatuka, but there's a guy you don't want to tackle in space, Biakabatuka. He can move his feet as well as anyone. You don't know which direction he's going. Once he starts, he comes back the other way, and there's not a safety there with that much room is going to tackle and bring Biakabatuka down.
Inside the 20-yard line, Michigan, that's what they have done this year, and they're at the 19-yard line, first down. Opening drive of the game, 3 minutes and change, and Michigan already down to the 18-yard line of Colorado State. Hodge and Brady Smith on the stop. Biakabatuka's short game.
The Rams defensive line, and in fact their front 7 is a bit undersized. They're going to be outmanned in this by weight by the Michigan front 5 by about 40 to 50 pounds per man. It's nothing really that Colorado State isn't used to. The offensive lines of most teams are bigger than defensive lines, but I'm not sure they've seen quite the package of run and pass balance that Michigan has, and right now they got them a little off balance.
2 tight ends set, Toomer and Hayes, the wideouts. Biakabatuka in the Michigan backfield on 2nd down and 9. Biakabatuka again found himself a nice hole off the left side, but got only to the 16-yard line. And for the first time in this opening march, Michigan will find itself 3rd and long.
Well, there's the challenge. That time Colorado State brought up their linebackers and safeties, played man-to-man to the outside, and Biakabatuka didn't have as much space to run in as he had before.
3rd down at 7. Upcoming for Michigan.
3rd down has not been great for this Michigan football team this season.
Ty Wheatley on the bench. Biakabatuka, the man in the Wolverine backfield. 10th play of the Michigan drive. Let's see if they bring some heat on Collins. Todd Collins does get some pressure, scrambles, now he's going to run. Collins to the corner. Out at the 1. 15 yards on the gallop by the big fella. Kareem Ingram saved the touchdown.
I was kidding him on the field before the game. I noticed he had hip pads on. I said, you remember that hit against Wisconsin? He said, I was wearing them that day too, Garrett. But this time he gets out of the pocket. This is what Michigan fears from Alfie Hill. Collins coming out on 3rd down, making a big play. Really the guy you don't account for, making the play on the breakdown in the coverage and getting outside the pocket.
1st and goal, Michigan at the Colorado State 1. Biakabatuka, the tailback in the eye, gets the call, but he's going to go down for a loss. excellent penetration inside, and it came from Sean Moran, and a loss of 4.
Sonny Lubick says Sean Moran can be as good as any defensive end he's had. His motor's running full speed, great intensity, goes about 250. Started as an outside linebacker here at Colorado State, but now they convinced him that he can be a player as a defensive end, and he's the guy from the outside that'll make plays just like that.
Well, it looked like it'd be a shoe-in for Michigan with 1st and goal at the 1. Now it's 2nd and goal back at the 4. They're going to have to earn it.
It's the passing down.
Cooper, the tight end, in motion. Biakabatuka. They spread it out again, and again he'll go down. This time Kareem Ingram and Greg Myers are there. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten quickly.
Well, it could have been a shoe-in, but it's Tyrone Wheatley who's had his shoe off over my shoulder. Now, the medical staff of Michigan is actually guarding us from seeing what's going on, but here's the deal, Brad. They actually took the shoe of Tyrone Wheatley off his left foot. They're looking for a fracture of the bone that leads to his smallest toe. Apparently no fracture. They have put in another insole in his shoe, but they've missed him on this drive. Biakabatuka may have to go the rest of the first quarter because Wheatley cannot move around very well on that left foot. He's up on his feet now.
All right, Adrian, thanks. He is up. Ed Davis has checked in, though, and Biakabatuka has hustled off. 13th play of the Michigan drive, but it's 3rd and goal now at the 4. And now they will have to pass. It's an empty backfield. Collins is blitzed. Fires. Touchdown. Amani Toomer. The favorite receiver for Todd Collins is number 18. That's his 6th touchdown catch of the year.
That's a play Michigan has where they can run either the slant or the fade. And Amani Toomer is such a big receiver, much bigger than people would realize. He beats Raymond Jackson to the outside. Really, Colorado State's best cover guys beat him on a slant inside for the touchdown.
Hamilton in for the point after. Extra point is good. Michigan opening drive of the ball game. They take it down and put it in for the touchdown with 8:51 left first quarter. It's the Wolverines by 7. The Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl presented by Chrysler is brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates, and by Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus sports sedan. World-renowned Hotel del Coronado on Coronado Island on a gorgeous night in San Diego from high atop the Murph. Amani Toomer with a first touchdown of the night on a 4-yard pass from Todd Collins. Caps off a long Michigan march to open the game. And now Rummy Hamilton will kick away to Chris Myers and Van Ward. And it'll be Myers from the 5. And Myers finds himself some room. Excellent field position. That's just what Colorado State needed to get their enthusiasm back. Anthony Hill with some final words. He'll bring out the CSU offense. In the backfield, E.J. Watson scored 9 touchdowns this year, joining Burkett and Hill back there. Eric Olson is Hill's favorite receiver, physical receiver, over 19 yards a catch, with Turner and Justin Shull as the tight end. The coaches say if Pat Meyer is about 4 inches taller to be an NFL prospect, he's still the best Colorado State's got up front with Craig, Pulowski, Donnelly, and Rogowski. First down for the Rams. Their own 34-yard line. Burkett in motion, and Hill to the air immediately, and he overshot Jeremy Burkett, his intended receiver. Let's take a look at the Michigan defense. The best game ever for Trent Zankowicz was in that season finale against Ohio State with Horn and Steele as they shuffle the 3-man up front a little bit. Steve Morrison, 8 career-wise in tackles for Michigan with Irons, Holtry, and Dyson. They don't test Ty Law too often. He's a good one back there. Thompson's the big hitter, and it's Winters and Johnson rounding out the Wolverine secondary. 2nd down and 10. Colorado State with a lot of motion. The 34-yard line. They know they need to establish some sort of ground game. And E.J. Watson picks up about 3. 3rd down and 7.
Brad, a little change-up for Michigan. Michigan's defense started with a nickel look. Woodrow Hankins, number 23, is the nickel back. He's playing an outside linebacker. He's going off right now as they substitute in Will Carr up there and the defensive line. So you're going to have to watch all night. Michigan's going to try to match the 3 wideouts for the nickel defensive front.
There's the 3 wideouts all to the left side on 3rd and 7. Empty backfield as Anthony Hill, we know, will have to go to the air. He's excellent when he moves out of the pocket. He's straight back into it here and fires outside, complete at midfield. First down to Paul Turner. Pick up a 14, and Anthony Hill, not known for a rocket arm, threw a dart there.
Michigan went with a 4-man front, trying to put pressure up the front. Little Carr in the middle, trying to put pressure, get a little double team from there, and then number 94, Jason Horn, comes on. Jason Horn, all Big Ten player, is the guy that's really come out on this front 4, along with Trent Zinkwitz, to put pressure on the quarterback. They will have to do it tonight because Colorado State will do a lot of throwing.
Anthony Hill's numbers, another sensational year for him, the all-time total offense leader in Colorado State history. He got his troops inside Michigan territory at the 49-yard line. On an option, pitches out. And maybe about a yard, maybe 2 for Leonis Brown. The backs will shuffle in and out for Colorado State. They'll show you a little bit of Brown, a little bit of E.J. Watson. You've seen Watson's numbers. There's Brown on the year. And then sometimes, Gary, they'll come in with a dual backfield as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's 4 guys here listed on my halfback spot. So they got Van Ward and Renard Karn, too, that will also play. And what the key to the offensive game for Colorado State is to keep the Michigan defense off balance. Run when it's a throwing down, throw it's a running down.
That's how they beat Arizona during the regular season. Second down and 9 from the 48. The gives to Watson, who heads around the corner. He got good yardage, short of the first down, but he got it to the 41 before he's run out of bounds by Jared Irons. Watson came into this one with 665 yards as the leading rusher of the group. And you see the 9 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, he had a little problem with his leg this year. He had a right hamstring that bothered him a little bit. It's really his second full year. He came in as a prop player and has great vision as a running back. Dave Lay, the offensive coordinator, told us that he's coached a lot of good running backs, and he said that this guy doesn't have the great speed, but has great vision as a running back.
He says Coach Marshall Falk, when he was at San Diego State, this guy's got all of Marshall's package except that breakaway explosion speed.
And one other thing, he's about 20 million short.
The bank account is different. Well, where one official on the far side of the field marked it out, it was not even close. It would have been almost 2 yards for a first down, but as they bring the sticks all the way across the field, we see that it was not marked properly on the far side, and it's inches short. It's inside the 40-yard line of Michigan.
A few years ago, I remember Lee Corso doing a game saying that he voted Colorado State worst uniforms. Man, I like them.
I like them too.
They're nice. They've either changed them or Lee just doesn't like green and gold.
The green and gold against the maize and blue. Third down and inches. Michigan showed blitz and backed out of it. Hill straight ahead. I was just going to say, with a quarterback who's got excellent feet, maybe just let him do it, and he did. Behind John Pulowski, his center, who gave him a nice shove ahead, and a first down, Colorado State.
When Sonny Lubick and offensive coordinator Dave Lay came to Colorado State, they looked at Anthony Hill, and they weren't quite sure that he was the type of quarterback they wanted to build their offense around. They liked a tall thrower like they had at San Diego State. Dave Lay had McGuire, and they said, this is not the quite guy. We're going to have to run more options. When they went back to the stuff they were used to coaching, Anthony Hill really came on.
Hill has really responded. Off play action, he's going to bootleg out a little bit, get some pressure. Now here he goes. Got inside the 35, he picked up 4. Glenn Steele made the tackle. He is a leader by example.
Glenn Steele, I was talking to Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator for Michigan, on the field before the game, and he said Glenn Steele we knew was going to be a good football player. He just came on a little slow for us. Now he's playing real tough, strong football. He says one of the guys we really count on now to make plays.
Steele had the big game against Ohio State with a couple of sacks. Second down, 6.
Michigan in a blitz look.
The Rams have moved it to the Wolverines' 34-yard line here in the first quarter, trailing 7-0. Leonis Brown got it near the 31. Jason Horn, playing the nose spot right now, made the tackle. Here's another key third down coming up.
Jonas Brown's more of a big play guy, a little bit more speed than E.J. Watson. And talking to the Colorado State people, they think that he's the guy that might be able to crack the big long run against this Michigan defense. You know, when I watch Anthony Hill play, it reminds me of Johnny Johnson from Illinois. And really, you know, Michigan's had fits with that type of quarterback in the past, a guy that moves around and keeps that defense off balance.
10 minutes into quarter number 1, Michigan by 7. Colorado State with another key third down. Third and 4, and the 9th play of the drive. Here comes a blitz from the corner. Hill in trouble, dances out of trouble, and throws to the end zone. Touchdown! Paul Turner. 34 yards.
Michigan faked the blitz. They dropped 2 defensive tackles, but Anthony Hill makes the play that Michigan really feared. A breakdown in the play. This did not come within the structure of the play. He got outside the pocket, threw the pass, put 6 points up with just his ability to read the play on the go. Anthony Hill makes the play.
Matt McDougal to try to tie it up. Eric Prawl to hold. And both teams have taken their opening drive and put it in the end zone with 4:50 to go in the quarter. It's Colorado State 7 and Michigan 7. Tomorrow, the Liberty Bowl. Start your day as Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week rolls on. Illinois' Dana Howard and East Carolina's J.R. Smith. And then, in the evening, it's a Builder Square Alamo Bowl. Baylor's Bradford Lewis on the run against Washington State's great defense. Illinois against East Carolina at 1 in the Liberty Bowl. And then Baylor at 25th ranked Washington State in the Builder Square Alamo Bowl. What a bowl week. And what a start to the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. Michigan and Colorado State locked at 7. Paul Turner is the fastest player on the Colorado State team. And let me tell you, as he crossed that end zone and that ball was coming down, he had to turn on the extra jets to catch the touchdown pass. Mercury Hayes on the kick return for Michigan from the 6. Mercury Hayes, and he's got speed. Look out. Across midfield is Mercury Hayes.
Let's take one more look at the touchdown before. Now, you're going to see the blitz. Michigan fakes the blitz from the outside, but the tackles and the linebacker are going to drop. This is a zone defense for Michigan. It's designed to cause a break-off. You'll see the zone, 4 across the board. There's really no excuse for anybody getting behind the secondary in this situation. It's not a man-to-man look. There you see it when Anthony Hill breaks the line of scrimmage. Woodrow Hankins, number 23, picks his eye off it, and Turner's into the end zone for a touchdown.
And it caps a 66-yard, 4-minute march in 9 plays. But immediately back to midfield goes Michigan. What a place to start, thanks to Mercury Hayes' 44-yard kickoff return. Ty Wheely's back in the Michigan backfield. Play action for Collins, and he rifles it far side. Wide open is Toomer. And Amani Toomer's going to take this one for 25 to the 25. Raymond Jackson on a tackle. They're giving him way too much room out there.
Amani Toomer just said to the bench, just throw it to me. I can beat this guy all day. Amani Toomer on a cutback here to the outside. Comes back to the ball, beats him by 8 yards. This is the 5th straight completion for Todd Collins. 3 of them to Amani Toomer. And right now, Toomer's saying, just throw me the ball. We can end this thing early.
Amani Toomer over 1,000 yards on the season and off to a great start tonight, including the touchdown catch on Michigan's opening drive. First down, Wolverines. Colorado State 25. Hayes in motion. And here's Wheatley, his first carry since he went out, had that foot checked, and he got about 3. Devon Hawkins made the tackle for Colorado State, along with Garrett Sand, the linebacker.
I don't think this is anything new to anybody who's watched WAC football or watched Colorado State football. This is kind of the way it goes when you watch these guys play. Up and down the field, offense is moving it, getting first downs and scoring.
Shootout football. 2nd and 7, and it's Wheatley on a toss. Nice job defensively to get over there is Brady Smith. Brady Smith is the kind of guy that's got all the tools, but no matter how many times he goes to the dinner table, he can't keep weight on. Boy, I'd love to have that problem.
You bet. Brady Smith just stood up, the Michigan player that time, ran down the line of scrimmage, Goes about 235. Started the season at 250. Just keeps losing weight. As I say, if he could bottle it and sell it, he doesn't need to play football, does he?
Well, how about him? Mom and Dad both went to Michigan, and his grandma still lives in the Ann Arbor area, and he's playing for the enemy. I don't know who they're cheering for. I imagine their kid. 3rd down and 7. Collins. Plenty of time. Now the pocket collapses. But again, he scrambles. This time he won't get the first down.
He fumbled the ball, too.
Ball came loose. No signal yet. He was upended down there by Kareem Ingram.
Todd Collins has to be careful. There is a huge drop-off in talent after Todd Collins on this Michigan football team.
I think we've got a field goal attempt coming up.
And I'll tell you, he is holding his back, too, on this play. He wears a flak jacket, but he or any quarterback can continue to take hits like that and play the whole game.
He comes out hobbling just a little. He took a big shot low, as you're going to see the hit come up from Kareem Ingram low.
And when he fumbles the ball is when I think he gets hit, and the hair gets sprung a little bit on the play.
Michigan a man short on their field goal unit. Finally, they get him out there in a hurry as Remy Hamilton will try a 34-yard field goal. School record, as you see, 24 of 29. This one, a line drive shot that made it through. So Michigan's had the ball twice, and twice they've scored. This time they have to settle for 3. 2:46 left in the first. Michigan 10-7. Well, a busy week, obviously, for both teams. Michigan and Colorado State out at SeaWorld on Monday. That always makes a big splash for both teams. And then a big pep rally at North Island Naval Air Base on Coronado. A good time, a nice week of weather, as you might expect, and a good start to the football game. 10-7, Michigan leads on Hamilton's field goal, and now he'll kick it away to Myers and Ward, and it's Myers again, almost the same spot, this time from the 6. And this time a much shorter return as he tripped up as he crossed the 20, got out near the 21-yard line. Diallo Anderson made a tackle.
Brought down by number 20.
There you see Todd Collins kind of still holding the back, but it looks like he's okay. He's going to keep it loose, keep walking around. That's the best way to stay in a football game. The real key for him is not to get another shot in the same spot.
Sonny Lubick, the WAC Coach of the Year. Sports Illustrated has already named him National Coach of the Year. And his team down 3, but they scored on their opening drive. Michigan has scored twice on their 2 marches. Play action. Hill's in a whole bunch of trouble inside the 10. The ball loose, but that one was blown dead as well.
It was a bootleg play, and Matt Dyson stayed at home. Did his job the way the coaches told him to do. Always account for the quarterback, especially this quarterback. The type of plays he's going to make. Dyson stays to the outside, makes the play. From the opposite side, Glenn Steele is there to clean up, but he was down before the fumble. Before this series started, I thought this was going to be a big series for Michigan's defense to set the tempo and let Colorado State know that they're not going to be able to march down the field every series.
Dyson drops Hill for a loss of 11. 2nd down at 21. And only about a yard as Jason Horn again on that defensive line. And he drops C.J. Watson. Now it's 3rd down and a mile.
Colorado State very concerned with situations 2nd long, 3rd and long, because they don't feel that they're going to be successful either running the ball or throwing the ball if Michigan knows what they're going to do. They have to keep the down and distance in their favor to keep the Michigan defense off balance. Of course, I don't think there's a lot of offenses that are very successful 3rd and 20.
That's true. 3rd down at 21. The football at the 11-yard line with 1:20 left first quarter. Morrison's thinking about a blitz. Hill with a straight drop, just going to flare it out and get what they can. Watson with the footwork, but only picked up a yard. Dyson again made the play. It was a Matt Dyson series for the Wolverine defense. Colorado State will show us the first punt of the night. Dyson, a senior, playing his final game for Michigan, and he has been banged up for about a year and a half with a variety of injuries, but when he's healthy, he's scary. Matt McDougal, the kick. We'd like to match that 66-yarder here. Michigan's got 10 men up. They're going to try to bring some pressure to the Colorado State punter. Here they come. The kick End over end, low, takes a bounce. Toomer's just going to get out of the way. It does, and at least take a Ram roll down to about the 46-yard line, but excellent field position nonetheless for the Michigan team. Coming up tomorrow and Sunday, first-round playoff editions of NFL Game Day and NFL Primetime. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Joe Theismann, Phil Simms, and the rest of the gang on NFL Game Day. Then at 7:30, complete highlights and analysis and insight of all the playoff games on NFL Primetime. They will take you through the playoffs and all the way to Super Bowl Sunday. Join the guys starting tomorrow right here at ESPN.
Playoffs? I mean, you're out here in San Diego. You don't even know. You're back in the Midwest. You read the paper every day getting ready for that Saturday, Sunday playoff spot. Out here, there's a few more things to do.
Todd Collins perfect so far. The touchdown toss was to Amani Toomer.
And Michigan was penalized 15-yarder too.
Wow, talk about taking great field position and turning it in to the 31-yard line. Gary Moeller's like, wait a minute, guys.
Yeah, but I think right now Mercury Hayes and Amani Toomer are saying, good, that's just more yardage I can catch the ball for.
They're both wondering what the reception record is for the Holiday Bowl.
Right.
Toomer's been the big man on the receiving end of Collins' passes. 3 catches already, including a touchdown. And Hayes, of course, had the long kickoff return the second time Michigan got the ball. Reavers again in motion. This time sets a bit longer. Play fake as Collins rolls and throws to Shea Foster, the fullback. Foster slides out near a first down. In fact, he's got it at the 42-yard line.
Naked bootleg, the fullback just slipping out in the flat, a very safe play. Quarterback can dish it off. It's almost like a long handoff for him and move the chains again. Just too many yards on simple plays. I don't think Colorado State would mind giving up yardage, but they don't want it to be so easy. They want to put a hit on Collins every play.
So far, with the exception of the one time he scrambled, he really hadn't been tagged too much. Probably the final play of the first quarter. It's a first down, Michigan. On its own 42. They may not get the play off. In fact, they will not. We've played a quarter at the 17th Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl in San Diego, and it's the Wolverines leading by 3.
Little prediction here.
Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Michigan leads 10-7 as we're set to start the second quarter with Gary Danielson and Adrian Karsten. I'm Brad Nessler, and there are some Rams fans, no doubt, even though they got the reindeers instead of the ram horns. Their team trying to dig in against Michigan's offense, which has scored both times it's had the football. First down from the 42. Wheatley. Down at the line of scrimmage. Kirk Bowman and Garrett Sand up to make the hit.
Colorado State said their first goal was they have to stop the running game. If Wheatley breaks runs into the secondary, we do not have a secondary that can run with Ty Wheatley and tackle him in this open field. So we have to, our front 7 have to be committed to the run, at least in running situations.
Total yardage so far, Michigan 119.
Michigan hasn't gone deep yet. They've been successful with the comeback. Let's see if they don't throw one down the field.
Wheatley in motion from the Wolverine backfield. And flags stop play. It's going to be
dead ball, false start, offense.
5 against Michigan. Larry Kerr, the defensive coordinator for Colorado State, told us what we have to do is try to put Michigan in passing situations when we know that they're going to pass. When they do the play action, when they can set up that run and then get the play action working, they're hard for anybody to stop.
Well, when you have one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the country, with that type of a running back and receivers around him, you can understand what type of offense they have. So it's a special challenge for the Rams.
Second down at 14. Line of scrimmage backed up to the 37. Here's the give to Wheatley, and they're going to have a holding call against Michigan, even though Wheatley busted out to midfield. That flag came from the umpire, and it came with some authority down at about the 34-yard line. See if that is indeed the call.
Well, he really does explode through those holes if there's any room. He is such a gifted football player. That time they caught Michigan holding, and it's going to even make it now 2nd and 25 approximately. See if we can notice who did the holding this time from ground level.
Somewhere right in the middle of the pack.
Looks like it's Marinaro.
Yep.
Number 73, right guard for Michigan that time they got flagged.
That umpire kept his eye on it, threw that flag, and then got the heck out of the way as Wheatley was coming through. Batuka now will check in, and Wheatley will go out. As Gary said, it'll be second down at 24. Back at the 24.
Michigan likes to use a screen pass in this type of situation, pick up half the yards.
3 wide receiver group. They'll go with the draw play. Batuka's got a lot of field to work with. Somebody holding out at the 30-yard line for dear life will bring him down. Prentice Davis is the guy that helped on the stop, and then Kenya Ragsdale cleaned up. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten.
Brad, take a look at Batuka and Wheatley. Now, I know they're different kind of runners. We've seen them a number of times this year, but they're sending Batuka more to the left because Wheatley, with that injury to his left foot, is having trouble cutting off of that foot. As far as Collins is concerned, Gary's right. He's one of the top 5 in the country, but playing hurt right now. Got the indication on the sideline he's had trouble following through because of that hit he took to his right side, Brad.
We'll keep an eye on that one. 3rd down and 19. He might take a hit here, too. Play action. Well, he got away from one hit. Throws on the run. Whoa, Mercury Hayes got tattooed in the secondary by Andre Strode, who the coaches say pound for pound is the best football player they've got. And there's not a lot of pounds, but he can hit.
Well, he was only honorable mention all whack, but he's a sound football player, and he'll hit you. This is really a good pass rush from the outside that time, but the secondary for Colorado State played the down and distance. They let things happen in front of them, and they came up, tattooed them, and they're going to get the ball back. One of the reasons, though, was because of the penalties.
Greg Myers, an excellent punt returner, back, and he awaits the kick from Craig Baker. Baker, the freshman, will line it up near the 35 as he kicks it away. Myers trying to shag it down. He's going to have to let it go. It'll go out of bounds inside the 20, back at the 18-yard line. When we come back, Anthony Hill and the Colorado State offense will gear it up there. They trail by 3. The Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl is presented by the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions. In the car business, you lead, follow, or get out of the way. And brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates. 10-7, Michigan from high atop Jack Murphy Stadium. Our aerial pictures courtesy the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Today's pilot, John Creighton from Torrance, California. Nice to have you with us, Captain. And the blimp as well, giving you the shots above the action of the 17th Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Adrian Karsten, and a 10-7 game with 12:09 to go in the half. Colorado State's got it back on offense on its own 18-yard line. Maybe 2 yards on the ground for E.J. Watson. And Gary, you said to me, Colorado State's got to establish a run somehow here.
I really think they have to take the pressure off Anthony Hill. He has to have some help. If he's going to be effective with play-action passes, they need to have some running so that they'll be able to have some respect and be able to use their play-action game. Trent Zankowitz, number 76 for Michigan, has really upped his level of play. He just made the play on that running game. Had a great game against Corey Stringer, probably one of the best offensive linemen in the country for Ohio State. And he is really a force in that front 4 now for Michigan.
3 wideout group for Hill. And the Rams offense, 2nd and 8. Off play action, Anthony Hill to Paul Turner, who had the touchdown catch earlier. Now he's got a big first down out to the 30 to give the Rams offense some room to work. 11-yard pickup.
Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator for Michigan, was extremely nervous with the speed of the Colorado State receivers. He said that they have speed that we can't match in the secondary. So that's why you see a lot of space there for those comeback passes to the outside. The Michigan corners are staying deep. And you know, Brad, when you get beat early in the game, you have a tendency to stay a little deeper.
That's right.
Woody Hankins that time was out there on the corner. He was deep.
31-yard line is where Colorado State has a first down. Hill loads it and airs it long. And it's caught. Eric Olson.
Yeah, but he pushed off. That's going to be offensive pass interference.
Way back at the 32, there is a penalty marker.
He put his hand right in Ty Law's back. It was very plain to see. At least that's going to be the call.
Olsen, a very physical receiver, and a little too physical there.
And a very fast receiver, too. Ran a 10-700 meters in high school. Had a problem with hands coming out of high school and college, but let's take a look at this play. Ball's in the air. Olsen comes in. There you see both hands. You see Ty Law's jump go away from the ball. That was a very obvious call and a good call.
Olsen, a leading receiver, doesn't like it, obviously. Came in averaging over 19 a catch. Ty Law is a guy that does not get tested very often because of his reputation.
I'll tell you, one of the keys, and you have to think about this when you're on offense, when you're throwing the ball deep. You don't want to throw those type of plays on the sideline of your opponents. If you're going to throw deep, you should throw on your own sideline, because there's a lot of people on the Michigan sideline working that back judge to say, hey, make that call, make that call. There's interference. And that happened right in front of the Michigan bench.
So instead of a 69-yard pickup, it's a penalty. It's 1st and 25, and it's way back at the 16-yard line. 11-11 to go first half. 10-7 Wolverines lead. Draw play. Watson spun down in his tracks. He'll lose a couple.
Jason Horn just made a tremendous play.
He's had a great game so far.
I predict Jason Horn will be the captain of this football team next year. The junior from Lafayette, Indiana, just on a pass rush, going for the quarterback, and on the way, he sees the draw, slips through, comes back, makes the play inside. He beats the center, John Pulowski, who really, the Colorado State coaches were a bit worried about even before this football game if he could match up. They said, we have to give him a little bit of help inside.
Here's that long yardage situation again for Colorado State. 2nd down at 28. Watson now splits out as a wide out to the left. 3 the other way, and that's where Anthony Hill's looking. Got a man wide open in Turner. He's not going to get much. Ty Law will knock him out of bounds.
You have a tendency to be wide open when you run a 1-yard pass to the outside. 3rd and 28, those 1-yarders are wide open all the time. Good defense, and really that's about all Anthony Hill could do on that play. The Michigan defense dropped very deep and forced him to throw the ball to the outside.
Now he'll find himself with 3rd and 22.
The Michigan front four seemed to be able to get off the ball and feel that they could put pressure on Anthony Hill. The challenge is, can they keep him in the pocket?
And Dyson did a job of keeping him in the pocket the last time Colorado State was on offense by bringing that pressure on the right defensive end spot. He gets in his track stance there for Michigan. 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right on 3rd and 22. Here comes Dyson again. Hill got it away. Man open, and a first down across the 45. First time they've used the tight end, Justin Shaw, right up the middle.
This is the seam pass, and that's what you get when you spread the defense out against a safety in the middle of the field. The tight end this time, you'll see the tight end come down this hash. These guys will all go down the hashes right there and isolate on that free safety in the middle of the field. Justin Shaw is going to come. You see the free safety in the middle of the field. Anthony Hill looks off, throws it right over the linebackers' heads. Perfect execution. Thompson and Winters cannot get there in time.
Shaw's been battling a deep left thigh bruise. Didn't show any problems there. 27 yards on the pickup on a 3rd and 22. Hill floats it out. Almost floated it too much. Colorado State wants a flag. I don't see one. Intended for Terrence Zeno and broken up.
Well, the Rams offensive coaches are now trying to work the officials to their favor. They said, hey, big call went against us. We get the next one. The question here is whether there was any face mask on the play. Hill knows no one's open. He tries to throw it outside where just his guy can get it. And the call was, did he grab his face mask? And yes, that's why the defensive coaches, Deion Johnson, number 28, came down and inadvertently grabbed the face mask. That should have been a 5-yard call.
Hill's numbers, including the touchdown to Turner. Here's a counter. Watson looking for somewhere to run, and he finally did get a couple out of it.
Boy, those rushing yards are tough.
Are they ever? Jared Irons, a sophomore inside linebacker who is going to be a good one. Already is, but he made the tackle. And of course, his dad played a lot of years in the National Football League.
Well, with Steve Morrison and Jared Irons, the two inside linebackers, you feel confident that you can go with a nickel type look and just keep those two guys inside in a 4-2 look up front.
Third down, this time a more manageable 7 yards to go. Last time it was third down, it was third and 22. We approach 9 minutes in the half, 10-7 Michigan. Hill's going to flare it out of the backfield to Watson. Watson not going to get there, but he got pretty close. He did get to the 46-yard line. It's 4th down and 2. I'm not sure if we have our first coaching decision coming up here or not. It's pretty close to midfield to go for it on 4th down and a couple, but Anthony Hill says, Coach, let's go for it.
Yeah, I got a chuckle out of Sonny Lubick. I said, now how do you get involved with the offense? He said, I just leave him alone.
He says, that's Dave Lays. I don't get involved.
And when I get to those tough situations where I have to make a decision, I said, Dave, he said, you want to go for it, Coach? He says, if you think you can make it, go for it. If you don't think you can make it, let's punt it.
That's right. They are going to punt it.
Well, it's still a good football game. 10-7 right here. There's no need to panic. Punt the ball down and make Michigan travel the long way.
Play a little field position. So hustling out quickly is Mercury Hayes to get return formation.
Mac McDougal had a poor warm-up kicking the ball. You're shaking to the right.
This time he got a beauty. Actually, this one comes off the left a little bit, but it does go inside the 20 down near the 17-yard line. So Michigan will have to take it the longer haul. They lead by 3. Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, Michigan leading Colorado State 10-7. Anthony Hill with his troops gathered around him. The quarterback. There's Eric Olson, the guy that shoved off on Ty Law on what would have been a huge gain. And instead, they brought it all the way back. They did punt it down, though, to the 18-yard line. So playing a little field position football, Colorado State. And Michigan, their entire unit huddled around Gary Moeller on the sideline, and they'll bring it out and bring it up to the line. 1st and 10, the 18-yard line. Ty Wheatley, who opened the game at the tailback spot, went out momentarily to get some equipment repair on what is an injured foot, but he's playing through it anyway with an arch support in there that Adrian told us about. He gets the call on 1st down, and he's going to lose a yard. Kareem Ingram makes the play.
Well, Michigan's had great success on 1st down tonight, but the reason they're so tough to stop is how balanced they are. We talked in the open about the success Colorado State had against BYU and Arizona. You can see they don't quite have the balance that a team like Michigan does. 49-50, that's unbelievable how balanced they are, and that's really the desire that Gary Moeller brought to him when he took over this Michigan job. He wanted to have a balanced offense no matter who he was playing. They had to stop both the run and the pass when they played Michigan.
2nd down 11. Play action for Collins right over the middle and a 1st down. Out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Todd Richards, his first catch of the night.
Todd Richards is playing a little bit more because Seth Smith was not able to play in this game. Disciplinary problems, was subject to a 1-game suspension. I guess it's a 1-game suspension. He's not going to be playing in this game. At least we know that. And Todd Richards comes in with a nice play over the middle.
And a 1st down toss out to the 32-yard line. Two tight end group, Reamersma, Cooper both in there. Nice play fake by Collins. Fires back the other way. Reamersma had it broken up by Raymond Jackson.
Well, he made a mistake that time. He gave up on the deep pass. Had Amani Toomer going right down the middle. It's one of those plays sometimes it was kind of a get-em type play, something you work on in practice. And you know that your own team covers the deep guy and you get used to hitting that tight end as your safety valve. I think you should have stuck with Toomer going down the middle. He adjusts so well to that deep ball.
1st incompletion for Todd Collins.
Todd Collins does not make a lot of mental mistakes. Kit Cartwright, their new offensive quarterback coach, told me he's as smart as anyone he's coached.
2nd and 10. 7:21 left 1st half. 10-7. The Wolverines lead the Rams of Colorado State. Wheatley inside. Tyrone wrapped up by Kenya Ragsdale as he crossed the 35 near the 37 with the forward progress before he's dumped back. Wheatley only 18 yards on his 7 carries so far.
And defensive coordinator Larry Kerr for Colorado State is happy when Kenya Ragsdale, their middle linebacker, makes plays. He thought that the Colorado State defense suffered up the middle. The safeties and the middle linebacker were not making a lot of plays. There you see Larry Kerr right there. He calls it. He's up in the box, likes to call the plays from this press box. And Ragsdale, not a big player, only 218 pounds, but he has to get in and make plays.
Yep, Larry said if we plug that middle a little bit, we got a shot. 3rd and 5, Michigan. Colorado State fans trying to come to life for their defense, and now the officials will hold things up. As we've got a timeout. We'll take a break too. Sonny Lubick will bring his defensive troops over. Key 3rd down coming up for Michigan when we come back. 3rd down and 5, Michigan just inside their own 37-yard line. Defensive-minded coaches sometimes call defensive timeouts at opportune times.
And that was a great one. With 6 minutes to go and a half, a stop here might take you through the whole first half.
Let's see if the Rams can come up with it. That's Richards in motion. Counter to Wheatley. Wheatley won't get there, I don't think. Looks like he's a yard short. Strode and Hawkins make the hit.
Really surprised by that call. The way Collins is throwing the ball, the success Toomer had out there. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself and you just go down and throw the ball to Amani Toomer. Go get open, Amani. You could get a first down because I think that was a huge stop for Colorado State.
Gary Moeller was not happy on the sideline, and Baker will have to kick.
Both teams' punters are not the strength of their football. They didn't get here with their punting games.
And Myers is an excellent punt returner, averaging about 12 per punt return. If he can get his hands on. This is an awful kick. That was a timely comment, Gary. That thing went out of bounds about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, he might have got 7 or 8 yards on that punt.
Wow. So Colorado State did come up with a defensive stop, and then Craig Baker badly shanks one out of bounds, a 9-yard kick.
Actually, he punted those a little better than the Colorado State punter was punting in warm-ups. This kind of went off to the right here. Kind of looked like my golf game here in San Diego while I was here. Shank, and that's a good punt return when the other guy kicks it for 8 yards. You feel pretty nice.
They now mark this in Michigan territory at the 49-yard line. I thought it went out at the 45 of Colorado State, so a 6-yard change there. So the football just tilted on the Wolverine side of the midfield stripe. 10-7, Colorado State trails. Hill with Dyson coming, and Hill got away out of containment, and he's going to pick up a first down and a lot more. Anthony Hill rumbles down to the 30-yard line, a 20-yard gallop on a scramble.
Well, there you go. I mean, Michigan does everything right, but one guy just beats you with his feet right here. Good pass rush from the outside. Dyson comes, forces him up the middle. Steele cannot make the play. And watch Justin Shull, number 88, come back and pick off a blocker for another 8 or 10 yards. And boy, he just reminds me of Johnny Johnson. And I'll tell you, Michigan has fits with this type of quarterback. Jaron Irons had fits with that block.
At the 29-yard line, first down, Colorado State. The give to Watson, maybe 2, and he ran into Steele. Glenn Steele, that is, with a tackle.
Steele was limping after that last play coming off there also, so Michigan has been rotating its front 4 to try to keep him fresh. They know that they're going to have to spend a lot of time chasing Hill around this football field, so have to keep an eye out for that front 4. Second and medium, this would be a blitzing down for Michigan.
Anthony Hill's put up nice numbers. Turner is the man that had the touchdown on the opening drive, the 34-yarder. 2nd and 7. All 3 wideouts to the top of your screen. And flags down.
50 flag on the field.
Good ball. Ball start. Offense.
Ball start will make it a 2nd down and a dozen for Sonny Lubick's club. Backed up to the 31-yard line, Gary.
Sonny Lubick, a career assistant coach, has suddenly become a very hot property in college football. It's amazing what you can do when you turn around a program like Colorado State so quickly.
2nd down at 12. Watson moves up close. backfield. Hill, straight drop. Goes left side, and it's Michigan there to meet it. Intercepted by Clarence Thompson in the end zone. And Hill on his end zone. Hit after he threw.
Yeah, that was a complete misread. He thought he had his back receiver one-on-one to the outside. He did not see the free safety. Laid it up to the middle of the field. When you do not see the free safety, you have to know that you're in trouble. There you see it to the outside. Clarence Thompson just sitting there, able to pick it off. And Eric Olson was a sitting duck trying to break up that interception, but the ball got there a little quick.
Well, that takes away a scoring opportunity for Colorado State. Gives the ball back to the Michigan offense at the 20. Thompson, a guy that had an interception for a touchdown in last year's bowl game in the Hall of Fame Bowl. He picked one off and went 43 yards for the score. This one, he stops a scoring threat from the opposition. Gives it back to the Wolverines offensively. Chimunga Biakabatuka now is behind Todd Collins in the Michigan backfield. He'll get the call. Biakabatuka, big hole right side. Biakabatuka stays on his feet down the sideline. And all the way to the 47-yard line goes Biakabatuka for 27 yards. Myers knocked him out.
Well, the reason that play worked is Michigan crossed him up that time. They thought Biakabatuka was going to go to the left and Wheatley to the right. So they ran Biaka to the right this time. Jay Reimers by this time able to lock up on the linebacker. Kareem Ingram does a good job blocking. Amani Toomer downfield does a good job blocking. And Prentice Davis is the guy who misses the tackle. Larry Kerr was afraid Prentice Davis was not going to have a good game tackling in this football game.
Talk about a big two-play turnaround. Just when Colorado State looked like it was driving for a score. It's an interception, a big run by Biakabatuka, and now it's Amani Toomer's fourth catch of the night. Another first down at the 41-yard line.
You know, sometimes you wonder, something that works so well, why don't you just keep using it? I think if Todd Collins is able to call the plays right here, and he's in a 2-minute mode right now, he may continue calling those plays.
Down to the 40. Collins has only misfired once. Drops to throw on first down. Scans the field and goes to Reimers. And he hold on to it. Juggling act by Reimers. And it's incomplete.
They were trying to run a stop and go that time, but Colorado State came with a zone to the outside, and he came off to his second receiver inside. Ragsdale and Ingram did a good job of reacting to the play.
Gary Muller's team, of course, lost to Colorado on the miracle throw from Cordell Stewart to Michael Westbrook. They lost to Penn State in a great game. So part of those 4 losses were some pretty high-powered opposition. The other setbacks to Wisconsin and Ohio State rivals in the Big Ten. Here's Biakabatuka on that counter off the right side again. And he's got another first down. Greg Myers hanging on for dear life, but Biakabatuka takes him for a ride and a gain of 12.
I saw Michigan in the Gator Bowl, I guess 3 years ago, when their offensive line just dominated a football game against Ole Miss. Last year, North Carolina State, the game was dominated by the offensive line. I think Gary Moeller would like his offensive line to take over this football game right here.
He was very upset when they were stopped on that 3rd down and 5. The last time they had the ball, now they've come out with some authority, without a doubt, after this interception. Has given them another chance. 3.5 to go first half. Biakabatuka left side. Cuts outside, nice stiff arm, a flag flies in late. We have a late.
Jay Reimers was holding that time on Garrett Sand, number 30. And we've seen Jay Reimers play a lot, and he's a good holder. I'll have to tell you that right now.
He's a quarterback. He knows how to hold.
Well, he started out as a holder. That's how he got his first play.
So that negates another excellent run by Biakabatuka. And what we say about Reimers is for 3 years he was the backup quarterback and now is bulked up to play tight end.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay
got Garrett Sand is the guy he held that time to the outside. Here's Jay Reimers right here. He locks up on number 30, Garrett Sand, and really just doesn't let go. He's got that green jersey pulled out just a bit right there. That's tough to get away from when you got a guy 6'6" on you that won't let go.
Garrett Sand had to have 3 teammates adjust his pads after that play.
Well, that's really the technique when you block on the outside. You get in there and you grab a little bit, but you have to let go. When that jersey starts to go away from you, you have to let go, or you're going to get caught.
First down and 18 to go after the penalties walked off from the point of foul, and it's Biakabatuka dropped in the backfield this time. Nice penetration by Brady Smith again.
This is the second drive that penalties have really changed the game plan for Michigan's offense. 2 drives ago, and then they had the 3rd down call on the sweep, and now this drive when they had everything going their way. I start looking for number 18 again if I'm out there playing or calling passes.
Michigan, 5 penalties tonight. 4 have been on the offense, and there is number 18 slowly walking out to the left side on 2nd down and 19. Todd Richards in motion toward the ball. Collins with plenty of time. Rifles it, broken up, intended for Richards, but nice drop by Kareem Ingram, the linebacker, and he got a paw in there.
Kareem Ingram from Cleveland St. Ignatius High School. One of those guys that Michigan didn't even bother to give a phone call or a postcard to. That's what Sonny Lubick said. They wasn't interested in him, and that's what he sold his football team on. Michigan did not want you guys to go out and prove them you can beat them.
On 3rd down tonight, Michigan 1 out of 4. On the season, 38%. 3rd and 19. This is a tough one to pick up, but this is where you start looking for Toomer or Hayes. Collins throws incomplete, intended for Reamersma, but excellent coverage again, and again it's Kareem Ingram.
And this situation, I'm not so sure Michigan just doesn't go for this play. With the punting game they have, it's a little too far to kick a field goal. I'm just wondering if you just don't drop back and try another pass play.
Well, I tell you what, that's what they're thinking about, Garrett. But they will bring out the punting unit.
If it was just a little closer than 4th and 20, I think Gary Moeller was tempted right there. Please don't hold again, Mr. Reamersma.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Something like that.
Well, this is where Baker could use a bad punt. It'll probably dribble down inside the 10 if he misfires one here. And he did. Wow. Everybody trying to get out of the way. It stops at the 21-yard line. A 15-yard punt. Ugly night for special teams. It's Michigan by 3. Not only is San Diego home to the Holiday Bowl, but also to the oldest trophy in sports, the America's Cup. Team Dennis Cotter set sail for a 7th time in this competition, with racing beginning here off the coast 2 weeks from today. ESPN's exclusive coverage of the event premieres in March for the semifinal rounds of America's Cup 95. Boy, we went to dinner the other night. They were working on one of those babies at about 10 o'clock at night as they prepare for that competition. 2:25 left first half of this competition. Colorado State trails Michigan by 3, and Dyson coming again. And Hill threw it away.
Boy, that was intentional grounding right there. He got away with one.
No call. Let's go down to Adrian.
Brian, add a little red to the uniforms of maize and blue for Michigan. That's from the angry face of Gary Moeller. After that second punt that was terrible, he says, look, if I've got you in the game to punt, then punt. If I've got you in there to catch the ball, catch the ball. If it's to block and tackle, then get it done. Really disgusted with the execution of Michigan right now.
No doubt about it. The special teams have been anything but for both teams tonight.
I look for Colorado State to run the ball here. They want to take some time off the clock. They do not want to give Todd Collins the ball with the punting game they have.
2nd down and 10. They've got a 3 wide-out group in there, and they will run it. Watson broke 1 tackle. It's maybe his longest run of the night.
Michigan needs to take a timeout.
E.J. Watson has found the sledding awfully tough, and there is the timeout taken by Michigan.
Gary Moeller on top of that call, playing to get the ball back with his senior quarterback and getting himself into a 2-minute situation, throwing the ball. Put the pressure on Colorado State. They do not like the situation where Michigan knows they're in a passing type down. They want a more balanced, steady type time.
Sonny Lubick, with the season he's had and with the rumors swirling in Miami on whether or not Dennis Erickson would wrap up a collegiate career and head to the pro ranks. And of course, that's been following Sonny Lubick all over this city and all over Fort Collins for the last couple of weeks. And the most wins ever for this Colorado State program. The WAC Coach of the Year, still up a finalist for National Coach of the Year honors, and first time since they were in the Freedom Bowl in '90 that the Rams have been in a bowl game. And we asked him about the contract situation. There is a deal that would take him to the year 2002 that is on the table. from the administration of Colorado State, and he says, my intention right now is to go home to Fort Collins after this football game and sign that deal, and I'll finish my coaching career in Fort Collins. And we said, well, what if something does happen? Let's say the Seattle Seahawks call Dennis Erickson and say, we want you to come up here and coach, and he leaves Miami and they call you, then what? Well, he said, guys, I got to at least listen.
Yeah, he did hedge a bit. You know, he's had that contract for a couple months. He's got a good lawyer. He's going through it very slowly, giving him about another week to make up his mind. But I think he's got to be honest with everybody. If Miami calls, he'd be crazy not to listen. I don't know if he's going to go there, but he'd be crazy not to listen.
Shotgun for the first time tonight for Anthony Hill and the Colorado State offense. They don't want to make a mistake here on third down. They're going to try a shovel pass. Watson got around a couple of his blockers, and I think he ended up going out of bounds, which is going to be a double whammy because Michigan not only stopped it thanks to Jared Irons, but they don't have to waste a timeout either.
Michigan caught a break there. It looked to me like he was knocked out of bounds on that play, and I'm really surprised that Colorado State really went into the sideline there and gave it a chance to go out of bounds. Now, you know, a 2-minute right here. Monty Toomer, one of the Michigan coaches, said we will return a punt for a touchdown tonight. I don't know if Colorado State can kick it that far.
Well, from behind McDougal with 10 Wolverines coming at him. High snap. He had it blocked. Stuck right where he tried to kick it.
Maybe he said we'll score a touchdown on a punt tonight. Maybe he didn't say a return.
Michigan all over that punt attempt. So Michigan now will have a golden opportunity to score with 1:49 left in the half.
I think it's going to be Chris Howard, number 32, that comes, the freshman running back, right up the middle. Someone misses their block up the middle. I think it was Sand, number 30, Garrett Sand, who didn't get the block. He ends up with the fumble, but right through the middle. There you see it. Two guys come in. Howard from the inside makes the block, and Michigan's on the 17-yard line.
Howard almost took McDougal's leg with him. Collins bootlegs off play action, lost one out. Dangerous pass. It is caught by the tight end Cooper, and Strode is there, the little guy, to make the tackle. And the clock running, 1:35 left. Michigan does have 2 timeouts at their disposal, and they've got a 10-7 lead, and they're going to take one of those timeouts right here with 1:33 and the clock stopped. So we're 93 seconds away from the Duracell halftime report. Coming up at halftime, Mike Tirico, Lee Corso, and Craig James live from our bowl headquarters in Miami. And they'll talk about Lenny Wilkins' milestone. Warren Sapp, the big fella, gets ready for Nebraska. A bowl blitz and a lot more coming up. The Duracell halftime report, 1:33 from now.
Oh, that's good. Bowl blitz. Am I in the bowl blitz too?
I don't know. You've been in everything else. We're on TV more this week than Ted Danson and Cheers reruns. Line of scrimmage is the 16-yard line. The 2nd down and 8 as Michigan as a group talks it over there. On the other side, a defensive-minded coach hoping that his team can somehow come up with a stop here. I think they'd be happy now if they only gave up a field goal.
That was a big stop by the Michigan defense, using one timeout, getting the ball back, obviously, on the block punt, and now they're in a position. I want to see Michigan just drop back and throw the football. Put Todd Collins in the pocket, spread the field out, let him throw the ball to someone.
Hayes and Richards left, Toomer right. Richards in motion. Collins to the end zone. Touchdown, Mercury Hayes.
The mismatch on the field is the Michigan wideouts. I really thought the Colorado State corners were going to have great games for them to stay in and stop this team. Ray Jackson, field corner for Colorado State, again was beaten on the slant inside, and Todd Collins put it right there for a touchdown.
Remy Hamilton in for the point after. So the block punt turns into 6 and maybe 7 with the extra point upcoming. 7 it is. A minute 28 seconds to go in the half, and now it's Michigan 17, Colorado State 7.
you'll see Michigan spread out the field right here. Hayes is going to go down and run the post right in between the safety right there. That's who Todd Collins is reading right there. Prentice Davis and Raymond Jackson, 20 and 31. He goes back, 2 safeties. Really, one of those safeties should make the play. Goes in. Prentice Davis does not read the quarterback's eyes. Todd Collins looks him off just enough. Throws the ball back to the inside, his left side, and there's enough of a hole there as Prentice Davis must have fell or stumbled, because that was an easy pitch and catch when you have that much room and there's not much room behind you to throw the deep ball. A safety with 2 free safeties should be able to make that play.
And Mercury Hayes takes his seat next to his quarterback. His first touchdown catch of the year. Even though he's put up some nice numbers, 33 catches on the regular season, he hadn't been able to find the end zone. And boy, does he have a smile a mile wide over there.
I think Toomer and Hayes will both be Blitnikoff potential candidates next year. The only problem is they need a quarterback.
That will be a question mark for Michigan.
Well, that'll be the challenge. There's some good ones here, I think, but that'll be the challenge.
Hamilton to kick. Myers and Ward back. This one will come to Van Ward at the 14-yard line. Ward, nice little nifty move and got outside. Nice return to the 38-yard line. Todd Collins, of course, will go to the pros. Will that guy be the starting quarterback?
Well, that's Brian Greasy right there, father of Bob Greasy.
Well, Bob Greasy's his father, actually.
Oh, well, there are all these details.
Well, there have been a lot of greasy quarterbacks, and of course Bob's in the Hall of Fame. And I said, well, where's your kid stack up? He says he's the best athlete in the family, hands down.
Well, I don't know about that. Bobby, in his days at Purdue, played basketball at Purdue and football. So
that's high praise for his kid, huh?
You bet. I don't know if he's played in his dad's class yet.
At the 38-yard line. First down, Colorado State. Now let's see if they open it up a little bit to try to get back and get some points before intermission. Trailing by 10. On the counter is Watson, bounced off one, and E.J. Watson, that's his best run of the night. He got almost 7.
Now, I think you feel a lot more comfortable with your 2-minute offense on the 40, 45-yard line than you do on your 20. And Colorado State should hurry up, play the 2-minute offense, take advantage of the college rule that the clock stops for first downs, and try to put some points on the board. They're going to need them against Michigan in this football game.
Timeout. Second one taken by Colorado State, and they're down to 1. There's Dave Lay, the offensive coordinator, talking with Anthony Hill. Very impressed with Anthony Hill when you talk to Dave Lake. One of the world's most enduring symbols. The Goodyear Blimp Eagles been providing our aerial shots tonight as you look in on the Murph. Jack Murphy Stadium, home to the Chargers and home to the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. The 17th edition here tonight. Always great games. 11 of the 16 previous games have been decided by a touchdown or less.
Well, this is our 3rd together and my 4th, and this has been all exciting finishes for me. You know, last year's game, Ohio State and BYU, that's about as close as you can get.
And John Walsh, who tried to get a touchdown pass on the last play of last year's game, did he have a game last night? Huh? Wow. 454 yards and 4 touchdowns and a shellacking by BYU over Oklahoma. And as Chris Fowler and the guys were talking about, the WAC has really showed up and played well so far in the bowl games, with Utah beating Arizona the other night.
And I think this is a game that is a little bit tougher. I think Michigan's the best team that any of the WAC teams have played out here that I've seen. Much more balanced than the Illinois team or the Iowa team or the Ohio State team that came out last year.
Anthony Hill's 8 out of 12 so far in the game. He's got a second down and a long 2 at the 46-yard line. Throws quickly over the middle, completes it. Jeremy Burkett, first down, Colorado State, a pickup of 11. And now they try to hurry it up and set it up as we approach a minute in the first half.
Steve Morrison got hurt a bit on that play. I don't know if it's his foot that has been bothering him or he's a bit dinged from the hit, but he is hurting a bit on the play.
At the 43, first down. And now they're still trying to get the sticks set on the far side of the field again, so officials stop play momentarily. There's Morrison limping around a little bit.
Tracy is shaking his head. They asked him, do you want out? He said, no, I'm fine.
Are you kidding me? Out of the shotgun. Hill all day to throw. And now throws short across the middle. It's going to be another first down to the 31. It's Van Ward out of the backfield. Pick up a 12.
Dave Lay did not tell us a formation that he felt confident in, but I'm comfortable saying that it's his 4 and 5 wide receivers, the empty backfield, that he could put Michigan into a defense that he felt comfortable and confident that they would be able to move the ball.
49 seconds, clock running. Colorado State down by 10. Anthony Hill with a flag down and a holding call in the backfield.
Pat Meyer held Matt Dyson that time.
And now we've got an injured Wolverine, too.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Might be Zankiewicz.
Zankiewicz is the only number I can't account for on that play.
There he is.
Horn is out there. Dyson's out there.
Zankiewicz was kind of tangled up in that Dyson-Meyer pile where the flag is, as you can see.
There's a guy that's gone through a lot, really has recommitted himself to football.
Came in as maybe the most sought-after lineman in the country in 1990 as a high school player. And some of that, the Michigan coaches say, can sometimes go to kids' heads, and they do not work hard enough. And Trent Zankiewicz, as he got into the latter stages of his career at Michigan.
Yeah, he found out that he really wanted to play. I think this is Zankiewicz right here. Oh, it's this one right over here. Excuse me. Here's Zankiewicz right there. He's going to spin out of it. Comes in. He gets caught up in this holding play at the same time. He gets bent over, and I think it's his left knee or ankle. Meyer and Donnelly were the two offensive linemen that were trying to block to the outside, and he just got caught up in the traffic.
Zankiewicz, another one of those St. Ignatius kids.
He and Ingram, both from Cleveland St. Ignatius, who won the national championship, high school national championship when they were there.
Looked to be working maybe the left ankle, although he's holding his knee, so we'll just hold off on any kind of comment on what it might be.
Why, we usually guess when we're up there.
We sure do. And Trent is up.
Well, that's great news. That's the big fear you have in one of these football games, particularly at the end of the season. You know, you're finally done. And we look at some of the great hardware from this game. Champion and participant.
And Bob Demick from Fifth Thrifty Car Rental, who is here tonight. That is got a lot of trophies. And Zankiewicz slowly makes his way to the sideline. Damon Denson will come in and take his spot on the Michigan defense.
Real tough college penalty, because remember that holding call is from the point of the foul, 10 yards. So now it's first in a bundle here.
17-yard penalty.
First and 27.
From the gun. And all the Colorado State penalties have been on their offense. So both teams have been penalized several times, and all have been against the offense for the Rams. Firing out, intended for Turner, incomplete. Turner took a shot from Ty Law.
Yes, incomplete.
Ty Law is the only Michigan defensive back that hasn't really lost his job this year. They went through a lot. That Colorado late touchdown pass, the Hail Mary, really shook up this defensive backfield, and Ty Law is really the only one that's been able to play the whole season and keep his wits about him and keep his confidence. When you play in the secondary, you have to be a bit cocky to survive it.
Ty Law, the junior, who is going to be a great one again next year for Michigan. Zankiewicz heading to the locker room, which 36 seconds from now his teammates will join him there if he gets a head start on that bad wheel. Second and 27. 10-point Michigan lead. Hill loads it, fires, nobody home but Ty Law. Picked off. And Ty Law with a nifty run back. Got back to the 30-yard line with 23 seconds left. So now Clarence Thompson has one and Ty Law has one against Anthony Hill. And I don't know who the intended receiver was, because Law was just waiting on it.
Right now they have to give confidence to Anthony Hill and say, that's all right, it's as good as a punt. Don't worry about it. We'll get it in the second half. Ball was badly overthrown that time. Little bits of communication either between the receivers, Paul Turner, and the quarterback, but Ty Law got an easy one. Now Michigan should use the Colorado offense here with 23 seconds to go. One pass in the Big Bend.
Both those interceptions thrown by Hill, obviously in Michigan territory. One there.
I thought the first
20, the first one was in the end zone.
Right.
Jumping off sides. Bowman jumped early. So that's a free 5 with no time going off the clock.
Good ball. offside by contact on the defense, 5-yard penalty.
So 1st and 5. Sonny Lubbock's got that headset back on. I think he thought maybe his offense, which he would leave alone, would get down and be able to get some points before halftime, but now he's back coaching again.
Michigan has one timeout. I'm sure they'd like to get the ball around the midfield right here and be able to stop the clock.
Collins, delayed give to Biakabatuka. Nice job defensively that time by Steve Hodge to stop Biakabatuka before he could get going. And the last time out of Michigan's taken with 12 seconds left.
Colorado State's done a nice job against the running game of Michigan's in this football game. It's been Todd Collins' passing on the slant plays. They just really haven't been able to stop.
Let's check in right now with Mike Tirico's coming up at halftime. Mike.
All right, Brad and Garrett, thank you. We are at Cocoa Walk in South Florida, and coming up at halftime, we're going to look at the Rose Bowl, the game just up the road from you guys up in Pasadena, and we will also talk about the Orange Bowl, the latest news regarding the game, and also the wide receivers in this game, a factor for both teams. That much more coming up when we come back to the Duracell Halftime Report. Right now, back to San Diego, Brad and Garrett.
All right, Mike, thanks. We've got 12 seconds left here. Michigan's just used its final timeout, and they have a 2nd and 6 on their own 35-yard line.
Well, I think the play here is to still throw for a 1st down around midfield, get up there and ground the ball on one play and have one last play to try to throw a Big Ben into the end zone.
And with the entire team huddled over there, you know that was made clear to everybody. If we do end up somewhere on the field of play, hustle up as fast as you can.
Todd Collins was still playing catch during that timeout. I'm wondering his back isn't still stiff on him, and maybe that's one of the reasons they're running the ball at this time.
Trying to stay as warm as he can, as you said. See what he does here. Pumps once and going to air it out long for Amani Toomer. Toomer there, but it's picked off by Raymond Jackson.
Well, he was loose. That's a nice try. It's a meaningless interception. It counts on your stats, but it really doesn't have any impact on the game. Amani Toomer's going to run a deep post. The ball is in the air right about now. Toomer's going to look back, and there he is. He's late adjusting to it because the ball was thrown before he looked back, and Jackson was able to stay and make the interception.
Now you would assume Anthony Hill will take a knee and we'll be at halftime because field position not the greatest. But there's a happy defensive back who last year guaranteed that Colorado State would come back and win the WAC this year. And he's probably the only guy in the country that predicted that. I teased him yesterday. I said, I'm taking you to the racetrack with me sometime. Final play of the half.
I can't believe they're not going to take a knee.
They're not. Quarterback draw. See what Hill can get out of it. And get pushed out of bounds by Jared Irons. That'll end the 1st half of play. Colorado State had a punt blocked, or they would be right in the thick of this. As it is, they're still only trailing by 10 points. Duracell halftime report. Mike Tirico and the gang from Miami coming up next. Our halftime score: Michigan 17, Colorado State 7. Let's send it to Miami. Halftime in San Diego at the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. The Michigan Wolverines of the Big Ten leading the WAC champion Rams of Colorado State at intermission 17-7. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. First half, Gary, it was 7-7 at one point, but Todd Collins has shown his stuff tonight. That's what you talked about coming into the game.
Really, he's such an accurate football player and passer with the ball, and his ability to hit their wide receivers has really been the difference in the ball game. Colorado State has done a good job on the running game, but Amani Toomer and Mercury Hayes have been able to get him on the slants. This time, the first touchdown pass right in between the coverages. Greg Meyer was a free safety that time, but Toomer beat Ray Jackson.
Then after the block punt.
Right, the block punt came in with Mercury Hayes, and really no excuse for this one. 2 free safeties for Colorado State, a perfectly called defense, and Todd Collins stuck it in there as the free safety fell down on the play, and Mercury Hayes ends up getting the 17-7 lead for Michigan.
There's the passing chart.
Todd Collins started out very hot in this football game, 8 for 8. It was only 3 for 8 his last 8 throws, but one of them was a touchdown, and he spread it out pretty well across the field, and that's what he does well, is use all his weapons and tools.
That block punt was huge. It led to the second Michigan touchdown and their 17th point. Short kick taken on the fly. Van Ward at the 16. And Ward works his way and weaves to the 25. That's where Colorado State will go to work offensively. Halftime statistics: 12 first downs, almost double rushing yardage and then some. And the total yardage, you see the difference there. Time of possession, 16:40 Michigan and 13:20 for Colorado State. But the turnovers, 2 interceptions that stopped scoring marches by Colorado State, and the block punt, that's what's killed them. Or maybe they'd be tied in this game, or at least 17-10 at worst.
I think the key right here is the rushing yards by Colorado State. Only 50 yards out there for the Colorado State rushing. I think they'd like to have run the ball for more than that versus this Michigan defense.
See what they do to open the third quarter. They will try to run it. Counter. Watson got about 4 out near the 30-yard line as we check in with Adrian Karsten.
Well, Brad, your partner's evaluation situation is right on the money. They want to run the ball a little bit more. Coach Lubick told me, look, we're at a point in this game, guys, where little things are going to make a big difference. He told his offensive assistants, now we have to be thinking about our major weapons almost every play, sometimes on first down. That's going to be Anthony Miller to Eric Olson. Now, as far as the rest of the offense is concerned, they're going to try and run the ball wide when they can, because they feel that's the weak part of the Michigan defense.
They've got a 2nd and 6 here in the second play of the third quarter. They're going to try to throw a quick slant. That one would have been picked off maybe by Jason Horn. Whistles ended the play before it got underway.
That was that special blitz again, and they got beat for the touchdown. The corner comes off.
Dead ball, delay of the game, offense.
So the delay of game will make it 2nd down and 11.
We'll see the corner will come off, and Jason Horn, number 94, right there is going to pull out and look for the hot, exactly as it was designed. The only thing, Horn doesn't have quite the hands that they hoped for.
About the only thing he hasn't done well tonight. He's had a whale of a game. So 2nd and 11 now. 4 wideouts for Anthony Hill and the Rams of Colorado State. Looks to his right, going to try to roll away from Dyson. Incomplete. Burkett wants a flag and will not get one. Morrison, the man in coverage. Let's go back to Adrian.
Well, here's the situation defensively for Michigan. Trent Zekowitz, I am told, is out of the game. Unsure whether or not he fractured his left ankle close to the end of the first half with about 40 seconds left. Some confusion by the defensive staff for Michigan just who was going to replace him. No confusion, though, that now the brunt of the responsibility for the defense really falls on the shoulders of Jason Horn that we talked about before kickoff.
There he is, right in the middle of things.
That's a big break for the Colorado State offense because they were not able to handle Zekowitz. He was putting pressure on inside.
Denson in there now, too, in that what is a 5-man group up front for Michigan. A 3rd and 11. And a blitz coming on Hill. And it got to him. The ball is loose. And still, nobody picked it up. I don't think anybody knew it was a fumble except us. Michigan's got it.
Jarrett Irons came off the corner that time. Michigan came with an all-out blitz. Anthony Hill did not read his hot on that play. Michigan brought more people than they could pick up. Remember, nobody was in the backfield. They brought 6 players. Only 5 linemen could block. He had to throw the ball hot. Jarrett Irons coming to the outside. He should have dumped this ball off. And he paid for it. Woodrow Hinkins, number 23, also comes from the other side to cause the fumble. But the 2 guys from the outside is what caused the turnover. Michigan has the ball again on the 17-yard line.
And that football was lying there like a Christmas tree on December 26th. Nobody wanted it. Finally, Michigan covered it, and here they are again in scoring territory at the 18-yard line. Ty Wheatley. Wheatley broke a couple tackles. Works his way down to the 11. Davis made the tackle.
Ty Wheatley bothered by a little bit of a foot problem in the first half. There you see it. 7 scores on their first possession of the second half. That's not a bad record.
No, it isn't. 2nd down and 4.
Michigan talked about getting their 4th receiver, which would be Wheatley, out to the strong side. Let's see if he dumps it to the outside here.
Wheatley cut to the middle, ran into some traffic. And Hawkins will clean up. Ragsdale with a first hit. Brings up 3rd down. So So again, first it was a block punt, then a fumble recovery by that man, Woodrow Hankins, has set Michigan up for another possible score. But they've got 3rd and 4 here.
Boy, you wonder what those wideouts are going to get the ball or not.
Hayes to the right and Toomer to the left. Somebody may have jumped inside. Flags down. Wheatley straight up the middle. Ty Wheatley to the 3. Garrett Sand finally put the stop on Wheatley. There was movement up front. Now, was it on the offense or the defense? Might have been Hawkins.
Michigan was very excited about it. I think Todd Collins drew him offside.
It is going to go against Colorado State.
And that's really was the key to why the play was so successful. Colorado was off balance. State was off balance. They tried to move back, and bang, they hit him with a play right up the middle. There's the hard count right there. Everyone takes one move. Now they're moving back. They're sitting ducks for the play right up the middle. Good call, good execution by Todd Collins.
And Devon Hawkins is the guy that jumps. Michigan first down, a goal at the 3-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley, touchdown Michigan. The 54th time in his brilliant Wolverine career that he has been in the painted area of the end zone.
In the first half, when Michigan was down near the goal line, they tried to run the ball outside with a counter play. This time they took it right at him. Rod Payne, their outstanding sophomore center, did a good job on that blocking inside.
You simply can't make major mistakes against a team like Michigan and not expect to pay the price. And this is the second time. First a block punt and then a fumble recovery, and both will turn into touchdowns. And point number 24 from Remy Hamilton upcoming. With 11 minutes and 58 seconds remaining, third quarter, the Michigan Wolverines and Tyrone Wheatley have taken control of the Holiday Bowl from 3 yards out. Wheatley with a score. It's 24-7. The Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl, presented by Chrysler, is brought to you by Eagle. Test drive an Eagle Vision at your local Eagle dealer. And in part by Rayovac Renewal. Alkaline batteries you can reuse 25 times. Rayovac Renewal. Smart move. From high atop Jack Murphy Stadium in beautiful San Diego, California, Michigan 24-7. Ty Wheatley, a touchdown, his 7th in bowl game activity in his career. Sonny Lubick, his team with a blocked punt and then the fumble, both turned into 17-yard scoring drives for Michigan. Can't get him the football there. Van Ward from the 7. Ward again found some decent room and got out across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Let's take a look at that touchdown play. Here's Zach Adamy. He's only playing because Runyon got hurt. He comes around and blocks. Here's Mike Sullivan. He blocks out, and there's the hole right up there for Michigan team. Mike Sullivan blocks Moran to the outside. Watch Adamy come around on a full block. He blocks Ragsdale, the middle linebacker, and that's a walk into the end zone. Nice execution. Brad, at halftime, I was talking to Jerry Hanlon, the old offensive coach for Michigan, and he said Michigan needs to run the ball at them a little bit more, and they'll be successful.
17-yard drive, just 138 after the turnover. Leonis Brown in the Colorado State backfield, and Anthony Hill looks like he's checking off on his first down play. Set to throw and rifles it out far side. Complete short gain across the 35, out near the 37-yard line. First catch of the night for Eric Olson, the leading receiver on this team. Of course, he had that one negated by the offensive pass interference call against Ty Law. They've got to find a way to get him the football, or somebody the football now, as they trail 24-7.
And this is, I think, what Colorado State feared most, falling behind enough where it takes them out of their running game, and they're going to have to depend on a passing game from Anthony Hill. He has to do it from inside the pocket. It's going to be tough for them to move the ball all night.
Second down and 4 as they got 6 on that first down play. Hill on the option. Dyson played it beautifully. And a fumble again. And again, it's Michigan. Glenn Steele this time. As well as you can play an option pitch, Matt Dyson just played it, and he caused the fumble, and Michigan's got it back.
Matt Dyson did a good job here, but the quarterback has to account for the end man on the line of scrimmage. He has to make Dyson tackle him. He didn't do his job. Dyson was able to get out to the outside. Brown puts the ball on the ground, and Michigan has it again. Although this time it's going to be a 34-yard drive.
At least it's twice as far away.
Yeah.
Things are unraveling now. Colorado State, 2 interceptions, a blocked punt, and another fumble. At the 34-yard line. Collins gives to Wheatley. Wheatley broke the first tackle. Cuts outside. He got 5 to the 30. Again, remember, turnovers killing Colorado State. This was McDougal in punt return formation. A little bit of a high snap, but Chris Howard just smothers that thing. That turned into a 17-yard march for a touchdown. And now here's Hill with Jared Irons on the blitz.
And Hankins from the other side knocking that ball out. 2 turnovers, and then the turnover in the option. They also had the turnover that I thought hurt them on the scoring drive, the interception in the first half.
By Clarence Thompson.
5 turnovers in the game. It's hard to beat anyone with that, let alone Michigan.
Collins drops, wants to throw a screen to Wheatley, who made a nice, no he didn't. He had it in his hands and couldn't quite find the handle. I was going to say a nice over-the-shoulder catch.
Kind of nonchalanted it a bit that time. That was a big play set up. Trezell Jenkins was out in front of him, and that might have been down the sideline.
Well, Michigan, 5 plays before that one this half. All were Ty Wheatley runs, and that time they were trying to swing it out to him on a screen pass.
There's no doubt that Michigan has the entire package on offense. A lot of people criticize them that they're not good at any one thing. I kind of disagree. I think they do a lot of things well. They just haven't had a lot of breaks go their way this year.
Breaks have gone their way in this game as far as turnovers, though. You help make your own turnovers, I guess, but they're being spoon-fed their scoring drive. Collins zips it inside the 20, Amani Toomer. And it's inside the scoring zone again. Toomer having a big night. He's had a big season.
I'll tell you, Amani Toomer is such a big receiver. He comes down about 12 yards, breaks inside. Fairly decent coverage to the outside. But Toomer, about 6'3", 210 pounds. Look how well that ball is thrown right into the stomach. There's not a defense out there that can stop that type of pitch and catch. Andre Strode, number 15, was on the coverage, but he wasn't close enough to stop that accuracy. Down at the 19. Play action. Collins again. Toomer. Did he find that? And it was intercepted. Picked off by Garrett Sand. Amani Toomer doing a little bit of a juggling act trying to find the handler. Garrett Sand found it instead. Well, the ball was put in the right place, and that's the first time Amani Toomer has made a mistake in this game. He bobbles it one time, and Garrett Sands comes in and makes it. Comes on the inside, a little bit of a choice route, goes outside, bobbles it once, twice. Here comes number 30 in to make the play. I don't know if it hit the ground or not, but you didn't see Toomer argue at all, so it must have been caught. At the 13-yard line, Colorado State takes over. Just marvel at Todd Collins' accuracy throwing the football. First down for the Rams. Down 24-7. Watson going nowhere. Tony Henderson got them all wrapped up. And Dyson again made a big play to the outside. Dyson, the senior, playing in his last game, turns it back into Henderson, and Henderson comes in and makes the play from the inside. Tony didn't start the game, but comes up with a big drop there, a loss of 5. You should go over and thank Matt Dyson, because the middle guard type position, defensive tackle, isn't going to make it unless Dyson turns it back to him. Good team defense. We said earlier, Dyson's had some injury problems the last couple of years, but you looked at him, and when you saw him healthy, you just said, boy, this is a guy that's just a dominating football player, and he's kind of showing it tonight. Yeah. Gary Moeller and Lloyd Carr both said he was the key to our defense early. He was bumped up and bruised, but it looks like he's doing it tonight. Second down at 15, way back at the 8-yard line. Anthony Hill from his own end zone, steps up, fires, got a man wide open, tight end. Across the 45 on near midfield is Justin Shull, who again found himself with nobody home. And it's a first down, Colorado State. Again, that is the key to the Colorado State offense, is letting Anthony Hill make plays outside of the designed play. This time he goes, he's looking left, he scrambles out, and then somehow he remembers that he's got the tight end to his left, to his right over there. How he knew he'd be open, I have no idea, but he has a special feel when he moves out of the pocket.
So Shell's got a couple of big catches, 27 and now 42. And at the 49-yard line, first down, Colorado State. Play action. Hill zips it complete down to the 38-yard line, and this one's Eric Olson. 12-yard pickup. So Colorado State's got something working offensively.
Yeah, this is a get back in the game drive for Colorado State. This is an important drive, as any don't have the rest of the game to show that this is still a football game.
That'd be a little trite on our part to bring up the fact that against teams like Fresno State and Wyoming, Colorado State found themselves in the same situation, getting buried by the opposition and coming back to somehow find a way to win in a high-scoring game. Long way to go in this one, but they're trying to fight back into it.
Michigan State from that outside blitz. Anthony Hill audible. Let's see if it goes. No, here it comes.
Here it comes. Better get rid of it. Steps up. And now Irons will bring him down. But he got a couple as he did a little side shuffle, scramble forward.
Lloyd Carr has a very nice disguised blitz right here. It's giving Colorado State trouble again. From the outside, two guys come inside. The defensive tackles and Steve Morrison, the linebacker, drop out of it. Anthony Hill checks to an audible. He thinks he can get the slant in. It's zone defense. Defense wins by a good call by Lloyd Carr.
Second down and 8. Tony Henderson of the Wolverines defense trying to dig in on Colorado State. The upstarts and the WAC champions. Draw play. Watson. Irons planted it as he maybe got a yard and a half. Irons only a sophomore out of Woodlands, Texas, 6'1", 221.
And they think he's going to be a great linebacker before he leaves. He really closes on the ball well. He's a great tackler. I think if there's one thing the Michigan coaches would like to see from this team in 1995 is better tackling from their secondary and linebackers with guys in space. That's how they want players to tackle, like Irons did on that play.
Third down and 7. Colorado State's got to have this one. They might be in two down territory.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Under 7 minutes, third quarter. Hill flushed out again, this time by Horn, and throws on a run. Got his man, Burkett. First down.
Oh, that was an amazing one. He was running full speed. First of all, he was almost sacked, and then he threw away from his body and put it right there to make the play. Anthony Hill is not going to let his team go down quietly. If they don't go down at all. He runs away from Horn this time, gets to the outside. He's running as fast as he can, and then throws across his body. Those are one of the ones when they get intercepted, they go, Anthony, I told you never to do that.
Anthony threw that one so hard he sacked himself.
But when they work, they all clap for him.
That one worked for a first down. He's hit his last 4 as Anthony Hill. First down at the 23-yard line of Michigan. Straight drop, lofts it out, nobody there. Burkett and Shull were kind of in the same area, one wide receiver and one tight end, but will be incomplete and second down coming up. Anthony Hill playing in his hometown here in San Diego. Went to University City High School in San Diego, and actually Colorado State well represented from this area as they've got 5 starters and 16 players, as a matter of fact, overall from San Diego. So you talk about a recruiting tool. Win the WAC, come into this area where you do so well and have the team playing in the Holiday Bowl. And in fact, all 16 of those San Diego players were team captains tonight. Here comes a full blitz. Hill lofts it, fade to the corner. Broken up, flag down. Interference will be called, I believe, on Woodrow Hankins.
Hankins had no idea where that ball was. That's a pretty good penalty right there. Matt Phillips is the guy he's covering, but it's only going to be a penalty. They're outside the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty.
We'll get him a first down at about the 12, somewhere in there.
Ball's thrown up high, man-to-man coverage. You see Hankins isn't even looking at the ball. He's just going, please don't let him score. Ball could have been caught by Phillips, but that's what you do. You have man-to-man coverage. You put it up high. Your guy is looking at the ball. The defender is not.
Automatic first down. And let's see where they will spot it. Well, they walk inside the 10. I didn't think it was going to get down that deep, but it is. down at the 8-yard line. At the 8, first and goal. Colorado State trying to work their way back in the game. 6:08 left third quarter. 3 wide receivers. And Watson is a single setback.
Michigan's going to come with that blitz again.
And Hill screams out to his wide receivers. They'll keep it on the ground. Watson to the 5. Glenn Steele, number 81, made the tackle.
Kind of an odd stance the quarterback used. Anthony Hill, all the quarterbacks for Colorado State does it. They keep their left foot back well behind their right foot, as you can see. Helps them get away from the line of scrimmage on passes. Running plays, it's really no factor, but it gives you that extra 6 or 8 inches. Keep that guard from stepping on your left foot when you turn and get out of the pocket.
The Bernie Kosar school
Well,
footwork.
actually, Bernie does it the other way, to tell you the truth. I'd like to see a quarterback draw in this situation.
Drive that started at their own 13. Now it's second and goal at the 5. Everybody packed up tight. They were going to have a quarterback draw.
I think quarterback draw would be a bad call in this situation.
Chuck Winters drops Hill.
Looked like Michigan was ready for that play too. You got to block it. That's the play. They took everybody out of the backfield. They tried to get their quarterback up the middle. Winters is able to read the play though, coming right up the stunt. See him run right by the guard on that play. That was the miss. James Craig needed to make the play, and no one blocked the free safety.
Chuck Winters, the leading tackler back in that secondary from Michigan. And now it's third and goal outside the 9. And all 3 receivers will come to the left side for Anthony Hill. Nobody's going back in motion the other way. Hill fires, broken up at the 2. Intended for Turner. Now another flag.
Ty Law's going to get called that time for reaching over the shoulder.
It was a pretty good play, but a little bit too much contact by Law.
Michigan was in a combo coverage that time. Each of the players had help inside except for Ty Law, who was by himself to the outside. See, Anthony Hill does a nice job of throwing it in the lane that time. Law's going to reach over and just touch the receiver from behind, Paul Turner.
Not bad, but by law, you can't do that. So it's first and goal at the 2-yard line. They have found very little success on the ground, but Watson is a lone setback. Watson, Horn's got him wrapped up. He may have lost a yard.
Michigan's front 6 or 7 players up there, whichever front they use, is really beating the blocks. Colorado State needs to run a quicker hitting play up the middle. I'd like to see them use a quick count too, because Michigan is stemming to their plays very late. They might catch them in a stem.
Paul Turner will bring in the play from the Colorado State bench. Second and goal at the 2.
The option would be a good call at this end of the field also, and this time Anthony Hill could fake the pitch and kick it inside.
Turner and Burkett to the left, Olsen to the right. Second and goal, Rams at the Wolverine 2-yard line. Hill rolls left, fires over Burkett's outstretched arm. And boy, is Anthony Hill upset with himself. Or maybe he's upset with the officials. Evelyn Hill, Anthony's mom there, looking on and, of course, praying that somehow Colorado State can find the end zone here with 3:58.
She's very skilled, though. She's turning around and looking at the replay.
We got a timeout with 3:58 left. Third quarter, 24-7, Michigan. A Goodyear blimp Eagle gives us a shot down on Jack Murphy Stadium with 3:58 left third quarter. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Adrian Karsten with you at the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. And a very key play coming up for Colorado State, trailing 24-7. Third and goal at the 2. 12th play of the drive.
Michigan will stem late again.
Again, it's a long count for the Rams.
There's the late stem by Michigan.
Here they come. Hill's going to flare it out. Watson made a one-hand catch, broke one tackle. Doesn't get by the second and third, though. Nice play defensively by Damon Denson. And now, do you kick the field goal?
Oh, I do. I think you take it to a 14-point game.
Sully Lubick will make the call. He says, let's go, boys. Well, apparently thinking, how many times are we going to get it down at the 4-yard line? So now the guy that they say is the playmaker that they rely on so heavily, the 5'11" senior, Anthony Hill, will be called upon on 4th and goal, the 4-yard line. Hill, Turner, can't hold it. Ty Law got a hand in. Michigan will take over.
Looks like it hit Paul Turner right in the shoulder pad. I don't know if Ty Law did that much. Maybe distract. I know he didn't interfere this time, but it looked like the pass hit him in the shoulder pad and Paul Turner just dropped it.
Michigan has it back when we come back. Gaslamp District here in San Diego, the historic heart of the downtown evening life. And on every given night, you can see some of the criminal element in San Diego. No, those are our guys, actually. It's some of our crew. We were wondering where they were last night. 24-7.
They're all drinking diet soda.
That's right. They were doing a little last-minute research. Turner, Paul Turner in the mix there is a guy that dropped what would have been a touchdown pass. Hit him in the pads, just didn't hold it. So Michigan will take over. From the 4, Wheatley. And a ball came loose at the end. Colorado State covering it, but forward progress out to about the 6.
Brad, when Michigan's teammates were congratulating Ty Law on that good defensive play, and Ty Law was walking off a bit sheepishly. And the first look here, you think maybe Law gets his hand across and makes a play. But if you take one more look with a different angle, you're going to see that this pass from Hill to Turner was right on the money, and nothing Ty Law could have done to stop that from a touchdown. Paul Turner just drops it and hit him right in the left shoulder.
Tyrone Wheatley got 2. It's 2nd down and 8, Michigan. Here comes the blitz. Flags down, and
yeah, I think Michigan jumped that time.
Todd Collins upset.
Marinero was drawn off by Todd Collins.
2:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's 24-7.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
So they'll back it up to kind of a dangerous position now for Michigan. It'll be around the 3-yard line. And if Colorado State can force a punt by Michigan, think about where that one would come from.
Colorado State was blitzing on that play, and it's very dangerous. You pop through with Ty Wheatley, and he's going to run 97 yards. There's no one going to catch him in that side.
The penalty story is backed up to the 3.
Coming again.
Collins play fake, pump fakes. Going long for Amani Toomer. Can't quite find it. Raymond Jackson was back there with him.
They ran a stutter and go again, Monty Toomer. The ball was thrown a bit wide, and good coverage that time by Jackson. Stayed with it.
So now, if they can hold one more play, that would be a precarious spot from which they would have to punt. Amani Toomer, 5 catches, 8 of them have been aimed at him, and he's got a touchdown mixed in there.
He had that one critical drop there that was intercepted right off his hands.
And Garrett Sands scooped that one. Todd Richards comes in as a 3rd wide out. He'll be in a slot to the right side. Hayes wide that way. Toomer to the left. 3rd down and 11 for Michigan. Down the middle. Over the hands of Richards, incomplete. And now Michigan will have to kick from its own end zone.
Well, that's the one big advantage of not going for a field goal, is you do have the other team backed up if you don't make it. Gary Mueller upset with that throw by Todd Collins. He had the receiver wide open in the middle of the field that time, just didn't make a good throw.
Remember, Craig Baker's punts have traveled 35, 8, and 14 yards.
Right. Colorado State's best strategy might be to just let him kick it.
Well, they got 10 guys up to try to pressure him. He is standing back near the cone in the back of the end zone. From behind him, we get a look. He got away his best kick of the night. Myers has to go way back. Finally handles it at the 45. Gets what he can and goes out by the Michigan bench at about the 43-yard line. Always a friendly place to get shoved out of bounds. Well, good for Baker.
He came through.
Coming up on Monday, January 2nd, ESPN's College Bowl Game Day. 10 o'clock Eastern. Chris Fowler, Craig James, Lee Corso, and the gang bringing the most complete look at the New Year's weekend bowl games and the national championship picture. Plus, Bill McCartney will be on hand to discuss the end of his career at Colorado. That's followed at 11 a.m. by the Hall of Fame Bowl. The Blue Devils of Duke ranked 24th against the Badgers of Wisconsin. It's all coming up as we will gear down our bowl week. Career-long kick for Baker that time, 53 yards. Still, Colorado State has it in Michigan territory at the 43-yard line. This is Karn, Renard Karn, his first carry of the game. And he goes inside the 40 to the 39. He's a little bit bigger back, is Karn. 6'1", 200-pounder. They have gotten almost nothing on the ground tonight, so they're trying a little bit of everything.
Michigan's defense continues to try to play a little chess match with Anthony Hill, moving and stemming and bringing their defensive backs in and out of that box position, knowing that Hill is trying to run a check-with-me offense at the line of scrimmage. They'll move around with the delayed snaps. You see it, there they go, switch again.
Empty backfield now as Karn goes out as a wideout. Hill drops, trying to lay it in for Turner. Almost picked off on the ricochet by Hankins. Ty Law was the man covering.
Ty Law made a nice break on that ball. That ball didn't have any steam on it at that time. It hung up in the air just long enough, and if you're going to hang it, Ty Law will make the play. Coming inside, beats Turner to the ball, tips it away. Good play by Ty Law.
Paul Turner, second in the state of California in the 100 meters in high school. We saw that speed earlier with the touchdown, the only touchdown of the night for Colorado State. 4 out of 9 on their third down conversions tonight. Here's a 3rd and 6. Out of the shotgun this time for Hill with his 4 wide receiver group. Over the middle, overshot. A man wide open was Eric Olson, and Olson, had he been able to gather that in, probably would have gotten the first down, but that one way too high. A dejected quarterback will come off. The punting team will come on.
This would be a spot on the field that if you have a fake punt, you might use it right here.
McDougal threw one earlier this year, a 35-yarder. Had his last punt blocked, and Michigan loads up everybody. 10 on the line of scrimmage again with Toomer back at the 10. They will kick. And this punt's too good. Goes into the end zone, a 39-yard kick, touchback. And Michigan will take over offensively now at the 20-yard line. Jack Murphy Stadium, clear, crisp night in San Diego with Gary Danielson and Adrian Karsten. Brad Nessler along with you for the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. As we said, Colorado State has fought through some adversity and being down in ball games this year. And they do stay ram tough to the end as you see some of the teams that they trailed and were able to come back from behind to win.
Yeah, and these two right here, they knew they had to have to win the WAC, and they came from big deficits to win both of those games, Wyoming, of course, and Fresno. Here's
an end around of Mercury Hayes. Hayes waiting for a block. Got about 7. The flag flies in late. Let's see if we're going to have a holding call, possibly. He was on the sideline already when that flag came flying in. Face mask. That one, I think, is going to be on Kareem Ingram. Ingram's had a nice game tonight, but he got his hand in the cage of Mercury Hayes on this end around.
Yeah, reaches out. Hayes ducks just a bit, and there's the face mask penalty right there just before he goes out of bounds.
5-yard incidental one, and that will give Michigan the first down. As we're down to 31 seconds to go, third quarter.
Sonny Lubick knew, you know, the good news was you're going to the WAC championship, you're going to go to the Holly Bowl. The bad news is you're going to face Michigan.
That's exactly the way to put it, too. First down at the 33 for the Wolverines. Collins with a play fake and fires out to Richards. Staying with him is Ingram back there in pass coverage to make the play. Only about a 4-yard pickup. And we have probably seen all we're going to see in the third quarter. So again, some key turnovers. A blocked punt, a couple of interceptions, and a couple of fumble recoveries by the Wolverines. 2 of the aforementioned have turned to touchdowns, and at the end of 3, it's the Wolverines 24-7. I would say the Goodyear Blimp's a little bit higher in the air, judging by that shot. Getting set for the fourth quarter from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. 24-7. Michigan. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Adrian Karsten along with you. And Michigan with a second down and 5 to the 38-yard line. Ty Wheatley, nothing doing there. And that was Scott Lynch coming up from the secondary to make the hit.
Michigan has been going on-balance line and trying to run behind the on-balance line to the left side of the formation, and Colorado State has had nothing. Has had all the answers for those plays. Wheatley has not been able to bust the run into the secondary. Usually when we watch him run play, he gets one out there where he gains 20, 30 yards on a play. He's had nothing tonight.
No, he's only got 44 yards on the night. His season low is 50. Third down and 6. Here comes a full blitz on Collins. And he lofts it out to the middle for Toomer, and it's intercepted by Stroh. The little guy's got himself one.
Todd Collins did not throw that ball deep enough. Very upset with himself. He knew he had a blitz. He went to the right guy. He just didn't execute it.
Flag down 2 at the 35-yard line.
He knows he's got no free safety in the middle. He just doesn't throw it far enough. He couldn't hold it any longer. He just needs to throw that ball another 20 yards, and he would have had a play.
And here's the call on the penalty. Maybe. Personal foul on Colorado State.
Yeah, there was a block on Toomer after they hit the ground, and he was holding on to the receiver, and that's going to march it back 15 yards.
Post-possession.
Was it Raymond Jackson, I believe, was the guy who came across.
Boy, Sonny Lubick trying to fire his troops up. Collins 3 interceptions in his final appearance with that helmet on.
Yeah, one of them was meaningless right at the end of the half, but the other 2, you know, were plays, you know, a bounce right off of Amani Toomer one time, a perfect pass, and then this one where he did the right thing mentally, just didn't execute the throw, the depth of the throw.
Now Colorado State with a turnover will work from its own 17-yard line, but time is on Michigan's side, obviously. 14-14 left. They're going to have to take it down the field in a relative short amount of time and then try to do it a couple more times. Easier said than done. Watson runs out now as a 4th wide out. Hill in trouble, and down he goes. Loss of about 6. Jason Horn and Matt Dyson. And boy, those 2 played a game.
They really have. Matt Dyson, this is as well as I've seen him play all year. Maybe it's as healthy as he's been all year, too, though. Michigan's defensive secondary did a nice job that time, too, dropping into a zone. Their adjustment to this empty backfield is to go 3 deep, 5 underneath, and just play zone defense, and they seem pretty comfortable with it.
At the 11-yard line, 2nd and 16. Hill on a draw but he still only got about 4 yards. Yeah, Johnson made the tackle. Ian Watson jaw a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to jaw when you're up 24-7.
That's right.
Been impressed with Michigan's tackling in the secondary. I know that's been a concern from Gary Moeller, is the toughness of his defense. It seems to me that tonight they've been tackling real well in the secondary.
So now it's 3rd down and a dozen from the 15-yard line. Empty backfield again. Anthony Hill, deep middle for his tight end, and he got him again. Shaw's having a huge night. 3 catches. That one's all the way to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 31. And that's, I think, over 100 yards for the tight end tonight on receptions. 3 catches and 101 on the night.
Yeah, Chuck Winter, number 35, the free safety, got to his position very late. This ball was up in the air forever, and a free safety should be able to make that play. Thompson's able to come over and hit him late, but again, the late check by the Michigan secondary, and Winter's just nowhere to be seen. Free safety has to be there for that type of lob throw.
Shaw having a career night. 3 for 101. Not bad, huh? First down. 2 of those catches came on 3rd down conversions, including that one. Out of the shotgun, Hill dances back and runs right in to Will Carr, right about the line of scrimmage.
Another adjustment by the Michigan defense that time. Number 91, Matt Dyson, dropped off. Michigan only rushed 3 people that time, had 8 defenders back. That confused Anthony Hill, and he had to scramble. The 3-man rush. Glenn Steele did a nice job of coming in and putting pressure on him.
Colorado State just getting nothing on the ground tonight. 41 yards on 29 carries. 1.5 yards a pop.
Yeah, and the Ram coaches knew that they would have trouble in this game if they weren't able to effectively run the ball. Not dominate, but just effectively run the ball.
2nd down and 11. And whistles stop play.
Dead ball. Delay the game. Offense.
Clock ran out before they could get the snap. The Western Athletic Conference 5-9-1 in its previous 15 visits to the Holiday Bowl. There was 1 year in the 16 previous games that a WAC team was not involved. 5-6 last year, this group, and now 10-1 and ranked 12th in the country, coming in the highest ranking they've ever had. Only 10-win season they've ever had, but right now they're on the short end, 24-7. 2nd and 16 for the Rams. Dyson coming again. Hill goes over the middle. Found Burkett into Michigan territory. Steve Morris and Jared Irons holding on at the 49-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 4.
Jeremy Burkett was a running back. Now he's playing wide receiver when Sonny Lubick came in, made the adjustment. You see him in the shotgun. Anthony Hill dropping back, sees the zone, eyes go across, takes the easy throw over the middle. Pretty successful play, and I'm sure 24-7, they're in 4-down territory now.
On the gun, 3rd down and 4. Hill over the middle, got Burkett again, same play, 1st down at the 40. Irons made the tackle. Anthony Hill, kind of like a point guard on a basketball team. He still fancies himself a good basketball player, says it's still his favorite sport. And there's his numbers on the night. He led the team in passing and total offense the last 3 years. The only other Colorado State player ever to accomplish that was Kelly Stoffer, who, of course, was an NFL first-round draft choice.
Now, remember, he was recruited here with Earl Bruce's staff as an option quarterback from high school, and he's really made the transition to being a passing quarterback and a very valuable quarterback for this team.
1st down right at the Michigan 40 with 10 minutes left in the ballgame. 24-7 Wolverines. A little bit of an option, and never a doubt he was going to keep this one. Got about 7 or 8 and went out of bounds.
Well, he had to. He didn't have any backs behind him. Empty backfield. I think it was just a sweep play, a design play where the tight end blocked down, you pull a tackle around, and Anthony just came out. That would have been a nice call near the goal line down there.
Anthony, born Christmas Eve of 1971, right here in the city of San Diego. Christmas gift he was to Mom, who's in the stands tonight, hoping her son could find a way to pull the Rams back into this game. 3 wide receiver group again. The 2nd and 1 at the 31. Make it 2nd down and 2. Hill wants to go deep this time for Turner. Law's out there. Turner can't find a handle. It was Hankins, not Law.
Good throw. Hankins falls down, and Turner can't come up with the ball.
Turner was a high school teammate at University City High here in San Diego with Anthony Hill. So these guys have been the battery for a long time. Battery stalled a couple times for Turner tonight. He's had a couple chances in the end zone.
You see Hankins just fall down, and Turner just overruns the ball. Neither one of them touched it.
Harmlessly bounces in the end zone. Turner has 4 catches tonight, but all of them came in the first half. 3rd and a short 2. Watson got the first.
Jared Irons hit him right in the mouth, but Watson had enough steam to get over for the first down. Well, without the turnovers in this football game,
be a heck of a lot closer than it is.
This is, I'm surprised Michigan has had much trouble moving the ball against them. I really thought they'd be able to more effectively run the ball than they have against this Colorado State team.
You saw Sonny Lubick trying to push his team from the sideline as if to say, come on, let's get in the huddle and out of the huddle. We don't have much time. They've got 9.5 minutes left in the ball game. 10th play of this drive.
Comes the blitz again.
Nobody home. Behind Hill to help. He'll go down for a loss, almost 2 yards on the loss.
Yeah, they had the sweep play on again, and again, Colorado State taking so much time to snap the ball. Michigan is able to time out their blitzes and hit it on the dead run. They need to do a couple quick count plays to keep Michigan out of that timing.
Brings up 2nd down and 12. Burkett hustles in with the play call from the bench. 4th quarter with 8:45 left in the game. Hill fires incomplete, intended for Burkett, who was shadowed out there defensively by Deion Johnson. Phillips, intended receiver, I beg your pardon.
The same stretch play, all the receivers going down the hashes, man-to-man coverage that time with a free safety in the middle. Fairly good coverage by Michigan.
You were talking with Dave Lay, the offensive coordinator, about how Colorado State likes to put a lot of air under their passes when they go deep.
Very similar to how San Diego State used to attack the man-to-man coverage. If there's not a free safety, throw it up in the air. We've seen twice Colorado State had opportunities to catch the balls for touchdowns, just didn't come up with it.
Rams are 3 for 3 on 3rd down on this drive, but they got 3rd and 12 here, and look out, here comes Irons. And he scared Hill enough that when he wheeled around to try to find his balance, he found the 42-yard line instead.
I'll tell you, Lloyd Carr's having a hot game in this game. He's pulling out all the right blitzes at the right time, and he's making a lot of good calls. Irons is going to come from the inside and just streak to the outside. Get there just at the time. You see Irons up to the top of your screen. Number 37 comes in. The offensive lineman, Mark Donnelly, comes out late. Hill tries to get out of the pocket, but it's too late.
No doubt some steam in that iron. 4th down, punt coming up from McDougal. And Toomer with a fair catch will take it at about the 8-yard line. 24-7 Michigan. They've got things under control. The Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl, presented by Chrysler, is brought to you by Dodge. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. And in part by Rayovac Renewal. Alkaline batteries you can reuse 25 times. Rayovac Renewal. Smart move. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Adrian Karsten with you at the Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl, where Michigan controls 24-7 with just 7:46 left in the football game. Tough night for Anthony Hill in his hometown. There have been some opportunities.
A couple receivers needed to make a couple catches, and they'd be right in the game.
Well, Michigan's got it back. Nice play pick by Collins. Shea Foster, the tight end's wide open. Sand trying to track him down. Finally will, but not before Foster got about 20. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten.
Brad, back behind the Big Ten bench appropriately. I'm with the most recent inductee into the Holiday Bowl Hall of Fame, Iowa head coach Hayden Fry. Coach, after you guys got out of the cornfields, of the 3 times you played out here, now you like living life on the edge. Two-point wins?
Well, Adrian, we've had some great games out here. We did defeat the Western Athletic Conference champion in 2 games by 1 point, coming behind in the last minute of play. One of the games we had to go for 2 points. And then we had a 3rd game with BYU with Ty Bittner and that group. We had to intercept a pass in the end zone to preserve a 13-13 tie.
That 86 game, the field goal to win the game, I think it's most memorable. As is that run by Tyrone Wheatley right there, Coach.
Well, you know, you can only contain that young man so long, and as I said before the ball game, it's just a matter of time till the quality and depth of the Michigan team takes over. Colorado State's got a very, very competitive football team. They've done a great job this year, but Michigan has all that talent.
Coach, what about the future of the conference? I think probably one of the most competitive in the country, save Penn State. What's going to happen now with them in the conference?
Well, you know, with the limitation of scholarships down to 85 at this time, what's happening is that the teams normally in the 2nd division are now capable of beating the teams that are normally in the 1st division. In other words, there's more parity, and more parity will happen from year to year in so-called upsets. But at this time, it's obvious that Penn State, with 28 previous parade All-Americans on their roster this year, I've been coaching 33 or 4 years as a head coach, and I've had a total of 4 during my tenure, and Joe Paterno's got 28 this year.
Coach, congratulations on your induction.
Thanks.
Brad?
Thanks, Coach, and congratulations from us up here in the booth, too. One of 4 people to go into the Holiday Bowl Hall of Fame. The others being Tim Spencer, running back from Ohio State, Bobby Bell of Missouri, and then there's this guy that played quarterback at BYU. What was his name? Steve Young.
Steve Young.
That's right.
Is he still playing?
I think he's still playing somewhere. So our congratulations to all the 95 inductees, is what they're considered, into the Hall of Fame for the Holiday Bowl. Big sack there by Steve Hodge, playing his last game for the Rams of Colorado State. First sack of the night of Collins. Backs it up to a 2nd down and 19, 2nd down and 20 at the 46-yard line. And the clock ran out on Michigan, so it'll be 2nd and 25.
Yeah, that was a good call by Collins. No use taking a timeout off the board for 5 yards. What's the difference, 2nd and 20 or 2nd and 25?
Most of Ty Wheatley's big runs being headed in the wrong direction by the penalties and the sack.
Well, he had a little taste of what Ty Wheatley can do with a little space on that run while we were down on the sideline with Adrian. I mean, he just gets into it. He's such a big guy. You never choose the right angle when he's running. He doesn't look like he's going as fast as he is.
There he is on the sideline. Of course, a lot of people felt that maybe after last year's junior season he would turn pro, and you got to give him a lot of credit for coming back, and then suffered the early season injury, which really curtailed the first 4 or 5 games of the season for him. Still rushed for 1,000 yards. Here's Davis rushing for good yardage for Michigan. You know, you wonder when you talk about Ty Wheatley whether or not he has any regrets that he came back for his senior season at Michigan. He says, no, not really.
No regrets. I mean, if the injury I nursed, you know, was supposedly dropped my stock, I had no idea where I was going last year anywhere. You know, a lot of times they say a person can go in this slot but end up dropping 4 or 5 notches. So I had no idea where I was going, you know, but a lot of people say you were going in the 1st round. You know, that's enough for some people, but for me, I mean, I'm just doing what pleases me.
What pleased him was to come back for his senior season. Here's a pressure on Collins again. This time Brady Smith has got him wrapped up with Devon Hawkins, and another sack.
Yeah, right around the outside. Trezell Jenkins that time could not handle Brady Smith to the outside, and you know, that's another sack. He was the sack leader this year with 9 sacks. There's another one, his 10th. Coming right off the left corner. Todd Collins never sees him, beats him off the line of scrimmage. Jenkins gets off a bit late, grabs him from the outside, gets a big sack. Little help from the inside from Devon Hawkins.
Brady, honorable mention all WAC player. Now Baker will have to punt. His last one was his best one of his career, as a matter of fact, after a couple disasters earlier in the game. State. And let's see who's guilty of what on that one.
Hit ball. Delay of the game. Offense.
Get the ball snapped, Coach Moeller says.
I think that was another meaningless penalty, though. They were trying to bleed the clock as much as they could.
Got it down to 4:18. 10th penalty of the night against Michigan. 10 men stacked up close for Colorado State. Now they shift some people around to see if they can get a rush on a Wolverine punter. Taking all day on the snap count here. Myers runs up on this one, fields it. A tough catch. And he only got about 2 yards on the return with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the ball game. Colorado State trailing 24-7 and running out of time. Let's take you back to Michigan's final home game at Michigan Stadium. Walter Smith is a senior wide receiver who suffered an injury in preseason practice that kept him out the entire year, and he worked his way back diligently in the weight room and conditioning for that 2-yard reception against the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and his teammates swarmed him. They love this guy. He's the team captain, co-captain, along with Steve Morrison, and he said yesterday at the luncheon here in San Diego, he said, I want to thank my teammates for hanging in there with me. We called a timeout against Minnesota. He said it took me 3 minutes to convince Coach Moeller to throw the ball to me. He said it's the best 2-yard catch I'll ever have in my life, and he'll remember it forever.
I think he's a guy that has a future in pro ball as a special teamer, a Steve Tasker type player. He's an inspirational player, a fearless hitter, and a great blocker for a wide receiver. He's going to get a chance to play.
Anthony Hill ran into the man of steel again. Glenn Steele.
He's really come on. I know the people back in Michigan were saying, hey, where was this guy earlier? He's really come on. He's going to be a real performer for them next year, just a sophomore. And he's a guy, that front four for Michigan, all returns. Zankiewicz, Horn, Steele. I mean, they're going to have a good front four next year.
Second down at 14, down near the 3-minute mark. Anthony Hill still trying to pull off something here. Floats it out to Watson. Watson, nice move. Gets down the sideline. EJ goes out at the 33-yard line. Just a little bit short of the first down, I think. Steve Morrison ran him out. Morrison playing his final game for Michigan. The other captain that we talked about. 6'3", 238-pounder, and just one of those guys where you look at him, you say, he knows how to play football.
He really is. He's out of Birmingham. Brother Rice turned out such many great football players out of there. And Pete Mitchell, a Boston College tight end, was his teammate. They faced each other this year. He's had a lot of injuries in his career, and he said the best thing about this year is I got to play the whole season and be a part of it all year.
Leading tackler in 9 of 11 regular season games, and came into this contest number 8 all-time on the career tackle chart at Michigan. Deion Johnson shaken up, senior corner. The trainer's out to have a look. Well, that tells a story of kind of a Cinderella team, although the Colorado State players say, hey, Cinderella wasn't as tough as we are.
Yeah.
But they crammed their foot in the slipper 10 times in 11 games, but I'm afraid it's the wrong size tonight. Still a remarkable job that Sonny Lubick and his staff have done. And what a turnaround a year can make. They went in there, Tom Jurich, the athletic director, in his first year at Colorado State, and they came in with a tremendous deficit they were looking at. And with the windfall of what has gone on with their season, the fact that all of a sudden they're a hot commodity and on TV and the WAC champions and what they're getting out of this game, and now they're thinking about new facilities and
that's the key.
All of that.
Sonny Lubick says that many of the same drapes and carpeting when he left are still there when he came back 12 years later, and he said a great upgrade is going to help his recruiting and keep them competitive in the future. 30-yard. Watson's got the yard and about 7 more. First down out near the 42-yard line. Morrison another tackle, his 6th of the night. And the clock at 2:52. Michigan
coming in 7-4, but 17 unanswered points, and you've got to thank the turnovers, the block punt, and all the rest. Collins has thrown 3 interceptions. As Gary said, one of them didn't matter much, but the penalties and the turnovers have really done in the Rams. Hill, deep middle, and here's another turnover. Nope, they're going to say, well, Chuck Winters trapped us.
Yeah. Michigan only had 4 interceptions all year. And tonight they come through big. A couple of overthrown balls, a couple of misplayed balls.
I still think the one Clarence Thompson made in the end zone when I believe it was 10-7 at that point. Michigan in front by only a field goal.
And a nice game plan, I think, by Lloyd Carr in this game tonight. I don't think he really feared the running game of Colorado State, so he was able to stem wide and do a lot of tricky things with his linebackers. You have to run at Michigan to keep them honest and keep those linebackers in there.
Second down and 10. Hill, a quick throw this time to Watson, who was spread out as a wide receiver. Kind of a wide receiver screen type thing out there, but nobody out in front to block for him. He got what he could, which was about 5 yards. Now they'll run it up to the line of scrimmage without a huddle. 2:24. Clock winding away on the Colorado State season.
Got to give the WAC a lot of credit, though. You know, in the past, you thought it was an upset when they were able to beat some of the bigger name schools like in Arizona or Oklahoma, like the 2 bowl victories they've had. And, you know, Michigan may be a little better talent than those 2 teams, but now, you know, it used to be where any team from those big schools could handle a WAC team. Now, you know, it's taking a very good team from those so-called elite teams to handle a good WAC team.
Well, Gary Moeller will erase the memories of 10 years ago, too, when Michigan lost to BYU. BYU won the national championship 10 years ago by winning this game. And that was a 24-17 final. And Michigan on the short end, but today it's 24-7. Michigan. 2:10 left, maybe the last time on offense for Colorado State, depending on the outcome of this 4th and 5.
Comes that blitz again.
Hill's got some green in front of him, throws on the run, got it to Olsen, first down.
The zone blitz, guys coming off the corners, the tackles in the middle, linebacker drawing protection and then dropping out of it, has brought Anthony Hill out of the pocket every time. Early in the game he threw the touchdown pass, but since then it has caused confusion for the Colorado State offense the rest of the night.
At the 41, first down, just over 2 minutes left in the game. Dyson jumped off, slipped a little bit, and apparently got back. Hill lays it out for Burks. Out of bounds. Clock stop with 1:55. High above. The Goodyear Blimp Eagles been providing our aerial shots tonight. They've been gorgeous. Goodyear Blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year covering major sporting events. Nice to have them with us tonight. Pilot John Creighton, the cameraman Glenn Hampton. Thanks, guys. Have a nice night up in the skies of San Diego. Second down at 10. Football at the 42-yard line of Michigan. And the Wolverines in command, 24-7. Hill overshot his intended receiver. And a flag flies in. They're going to have a late hit on Chuck Winters, who let Van Ward have it in the back after that pass sailed over his head.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary roughness. Chuck Winters knew that ball was clearly over his head and thrown, and he came back and leveled him. If it was a closer pass, they wouldn't have called it.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that'll walk it down inside the 30. Gary Moeller.
Yeah, he wants a holding penalty called on the offensive line right now.
Moves it to the 26-yard line. And right now Colorado State would have to score quickly, try an onside kick in the hole. Setup with 1:50 left. They're going to send all 3 receivers to the left in Burkett, Olsen, and Turner. Outside counter here to Ward. Ward finds some room. It's inside the 20. Clarence Thompson made the tackle. The clock running now under a minute and 40.
Well, this will be the last year of the affiliation with the Big Ten and the WAC, and kind of sorry to see this bowl go from the Big Ten. This was a nice third-place bowl, and of course the Big 12 and the Pac-10 will be involved in it with the WAC in the future.
There's a Cotton Bowl tie-in now too, either the first or second place team, and a touchdown Burkett. Not quite over. A rifle shot that time from Hill to Burkett. So we are going to get to see our onside kick and all the rest. That's the trademark of this team. Mom's high-fiving people in the crowd. Trademark of this team is not quitting, and they're not quitting here with 1:18 left.
Right down the middle, Jeremy Burkett comes from the slot on the left side. Again, the two safeties for Michigan drawn out wide with the guys going down the outside, able to split it down the middle. Didn't put any air, it just sliced it right in there nicely and hard.
McDougal's point after is good. And it is 24-14. And now we're going to see McDougal with an onside kick when we come back. Back in San Diego, the Toonemans Memorial in honor of the folks that helped develop that industry in this part of the country. And I don't think you have to swallow this hook, line, and sinker to know that they're kind of. But
Adrian could
coming up here.
Here we go. Adrian would eat that tuna that size.
That's right. Onside kick upcoming, and the Good Hands team, 9 guys up for Michigan. Napier with the kick, takes the hop. It's loose.
I can't believe
Michigan got it.
Can't believe Colorado State didn't catch that ball. It was right in his hands.
Todd Richards covers it for Michigan, and that'll save them the ball game. 1:17 though left to play.
There are 2.
Covers the onside kick. They're up 10, 1:17 left. Ty Wheatley, last time he'll strap on that jersey for the Wolverines of Michigan. Todd Collins likewise. They'll strap on some NFL gear though after the All-Star games that they'll play in at the end of this season. Chris Howard, who blocked a punt earlier, gets the carry here, and Colorado State takes one of its remaining timeouts.
Well, Brad, prior to the game, had you told me that Colorado State would turn the ball over 4 times, get a punt block, and not score with a goal at the 1-yard line, and the game would still be within 10 points, I'd have laughed at you, because you give me those stats, I say it's a 40-point game.
Thrifty Car Rental, players of the game for Michigan. Todd Collins in his last appearance for the Maize and Blue, a couple of touchdown tosses, and from Colorado State, their tight end had a huge night. Justin Shaw, 3 catches, 101 yards on the evening. Our congratulations to those 2 guys, Thrifty Car Rental players of the game. We're down to 1:10 remaining in Michigan and Colorado State season, and Michigan will finish at 8-4. And Colorado State drops to 10-2 when it's all over. Walter Smith's out on the field.
They're going to try it again.
I wonder who they're going to throw to if they throw. And Jason Carr's in at quarterback, by the way.
That would be a bit dangerous, though.
Nope, you just want to get in a play, I guess. They'll keep it on the ground. And now Colorado State will take its final timeout. Waller out there wanted to make an appearance on a bowl game. I don't blame him. He's quite a kid.
Really, one of the reasons a lot of people at Michigan thought this would be a potentially national champion team was his leadership, his senior leadership, and Steve Morrison's. They really felt that those 2 seniors were the type of captains they'd had in the past here with successful teams.
Sports Center coming up in about 1 minute and 3 seconds. Steve Levy, Carl Ravitch with scores and highlights. Lenny Wilkins goes for the milestone of Red Auerbach's hoops highlights, bowl updates, and a lot more. He'll take it away in about 63 seconds. And Sports Center is next. Well, this is where all of us kind of had our separate ways too, with the exception of Gary and I will be going out to the Hula Bowl All-Star game, but our crew will scatter now for college basketball and other things coming up. I want to thank some of the folks, operations producer Al Killian and our associate director Steve Turnberger, Charlie Parsons, our associate producer, isolation producer Derek Mobley, Mark Grant, our director all year, and Ed Placey, our producer. And the best two in the business up in the booth that join us every week, Pat McGrath, our statistician, and Clint Deans, our spotter. Great job, guys, with all our camera crew and all the rest of our troops. We have a team we're pretty proud of, too, and we've had a lot of fun this year together.
Nothing like going out the last game like Todd Collins is going out with a win, and I really think Colorado State has nothing to be embarrassed about. This is a very good Michigan football team they faced here, and you know, 24-14 is a pretty good showing for the team. They just did not make any plays. You know, they dropped a couple touchdowns and dropped some balls, and they just did not make
plays that were made were the ones that went against you.
Bet.
Yep. Walter Smith still on the field. Hovland out wide to the right side on a 3rd down and 11.
I don't think it'll be a pass.
I don't really think so either.
No timeouts left for Colorado State.
Here's a counter and a big gainer for about 10 yards goes Chris Howard. Steve Staniford made the tackle, and the clock winding down. Ty Wheatley. Not probably the huge night that he had hoped for in his final bowl game, but he's had huge bowl games before.
Well, Tim Biakabatuka will be back. Well, Chris Howard and Chris Floyd, the two freshman backs, will be back, and Gary Muller's high on both of them.
The signal calling spot will be the big question, or at least where a lot of the competition and a lot of the focus will be on this Michigan team for 95. Michigan's going to win 2 bowl games actually in the same calendar year, because they won the Hall of Fame Bowl last year 42-7 over North Carolina State, and now just one day before the year 94 comes to a close, they will win another one. As that is going to wrap things up. Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. The clock's not moving, but I don't know why.
Well,
now they
just
finally
move the chains.
Get it going. They moved the chains. Michigan will walk up. The players have already shook hands. They spent the whole week together and gave us a good football game tonight. The final will be Michigan 24, Colorado State 14. Stay tuned for Sports Center. Coming up next, Steve Levy, Carl Ravitch, and the gang. For Gary Danielson and Adrian Karsten and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brad Nessler. Thanks for being with us, folks, from San Diego. And our congratulations. The Michigan Wolverines win their 8th game of the season. They take the 17th Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl. They're the champs. We'll see you from San Diego, folks.